Opening night in the Canadian Women's Hockey League finds the defending champion Brampton Canada Thunder matched up against their longtime arch rivals, the Mississauga Chiefs, in what promises to be a banner opening to the second season of the league north of the border. These two teams have not forgotten their last meeting in that inaugural final back on March 22nd, 2008. Brampton outlasting Mississauga in dramatic fashion, 4-3 in overtime, as Team USA defenseman Molly Engstrom, who's no longer with the club, potting the game winner to give Brampton the inaugural title in 2007-2008. But both teams have had a chance to retool, regroup, and get back after it this year. And it promises to be even more fun in year two. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the USCHO Game of the Week, part two of our opening weekend. I'm Brian Schultz, as usual. Sorry about any video difficulties you might be having. The city of Brampton's internet connection is not cooperating as we would hope. We'll have the audio for you, and we'll have the video archive as well after the fact, with Eric Fernato shooting from behind the camera as usual. Let's get right to it. A great way to open the CWHL campaign in year two here at Century Gardens in Brampton, Ontario. Mentioned these two teams have been rivals going back to the NWHL. They've been rivals in the days of the CWHL, and they will figure to be in the mix for the championship again this year. Brampton, of course, has the crown, but Mississauga not far behind. As usual, there is a tremendous mix of talent, international, CIS, NCAA. Let's go through the rosters. There have been some changes from a year ago, and there'll be some very familiar names as well. For the visiting Mississauga Chiefs, their goaltending trio will be led by three-time Canadian Olympian Sammy Jo Small, 9-5 last year in the CWHL with a 2.0 goals against average, 5 times a world champion, twice the most outstanding goaltender at the World Championships. Of course, also starred as a track and field athlete at Stanford back in the day before U.S. college hockey had really kind of made the leap. And Sammy Jo, who actually was coming off a torn MCL that she suffered in the CWHL playoffs last spring, but she's back active this year, and she is the starter. The other Mississauga goaltender, the one who started that title game, of course, former Yale great Sarah Love, she's still recovering from a leg injury suffered in that game. The third goaltender on the team is former Brown standout O'Hara Shipe. Some of the other notables you'll see tonight, of course, the all-time leading scorer in women's college hockey history, Jennifer Botterill out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Also the leading scorer in the CWHL a year ago with 61 points in 26 games. The 4-time first-team All-American will wear number 17. The captain of the Mississauga Chiefs, Summer West, is actually wearing a borrowed jersey because her 44 shirt was actually sent to the NHL Hall of Fame after last year's inaugural title game, so she hasn't gotten her new sweater just yet. She'll be wearing number 16 tonight. Tremendous player, 48 points a year ago in the inaugural CWHL season. Also back and figuring to play a prominent role in the proceedings tonight, Cheryl Pounder, of course, has been on Team Canada for 3 Olympic Games, made her World Championship debut way back in 1994, took off the 2008 season to have her first child, so she will be back on the ice for her first game action in over a year. In the college circuit, other names you might be familiar with that you might see tonight: Shannon Molson, standout from Niagara, 3-time first-team All-CHA selection. Amber Bowman, better than 100 career points in her Ohio State career. We saw her Ohio State team come up with a 2-1 victory last night over Providence. Christy Zamora, former Brown standout, had her coach on, Digit Murphy, last night. Mentioned Sarah Love, also a teenager who figures to make some NCAA program very profitable next season. That would be Brianne Jenner, captain of Team Canada's under-18 jersey. Among CIS standouts, how about Ashley Stevenson, 2-time CIS All-Star at Wilfrid Laurier. Rebecca Davies, also a pesky forward as well. Lara Perks, Heather Logan, longtime institutions with this former Toronto Arrows and now Mississauga Chiefs club, for what should be an all-star roster on one side, and they visit an all-star roster on the other side. Goaltenders for the home team, the Brampton Canada Thunder, Mandy Cronin, former standout at Maine. Laura Hosier making her debut in nets for the Canada Thunder, the former Mercyhurst standout who went to 3 NCAA tournament and started 3 NCAA tournament games for Mike Sisty's troops in Erie, Pennsylvania. On defense, notables include Bobby Jo Slusser, 2-time All-American, 2-time national champion at Wisconsin. You'll hear from Bobby Jo in the second intermission. Allison Fox, an inaugural member of the Thunder, played at York University in the 1990s. Brooke Beezer, also a standout at Clarkson, who graduated a year ago, making her debut at the club. And Ashley Pendleton, standout with Mercyhurst, and with the Vaughan Flames a year ago, 4-time All-CHA selection, will switch over to Brampton this year. Up front, a host of stars: Vicky Sonohara, Jana Heffer, Lori Dupuis, 3 longtime Team Canada members and still going strong in their 30s. Among Ivy and NCAA compatriots, Jillian Apps, former UCSU Player of the Year, and Tiffany Haig, both of Dartmouth College, Kathleen Koth of Brown, and throwing a couple more big green players as well as Nicole Ruda, last year's Dartmouth captain, will join the club. So you have Ruda, the 08 captain, Apps, the 07 captain, and Haig, the 06 captain, all on the same team as we pause for the playing of the national anthem. Opening night in the second season of the Canadian Women's Hockey League. Mississauga Chiefs, Brampton Canada Thunder, longtime rivals. They went at it for the title a year ago. Brampton coming up with a win 4-3 in overtime. And what a fitting way to open season number 2 here tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Again, apologize if you're having video difficulties with Brampton's internet connection. You'll have to do it the old-fashioned way with me. I'll try to keep you up to speed with the audio side of things, even though I'm functioning on about maybe 1 hour of sleep, coming back from Providence to New York City late last night and jumping the crack of dawn flight up to Toronto this morning. So we'll see if I can hold it together for the next 2 hours plus, but it should be a fun night of hockey here in Brampton, Ontario. Starting lineups for the two teams. For the visiting Mississauga Chiefs, mentioned Sammy Jo Small, tremendous goaltender for Team Canada for a number of years, 5 times a world champion, and she will get the starts between nets. Mentioned last time we saw her in a CWHL game, had a torn MCL, but managed to make it through a shootout and win that shootout against the Montreal Stars back in the CWHL semifinals. Up front, Jennifer Botterill in the middle, former Harvard great, 4-time first-team All-American, 2-time Patty Kazmaier Award winner. She will have Lara Perks, who missed much of last season with an injury, and Summer West flanking her. Cheryl Pounder and Amber Bowman will be paired on the blue line. At the other end, it will be Laura Hosier between the pipes for the Brampton Canada Thunder. On defense, Bobby Jo Slusser out of Wisconsin. Brooke Vieser out of Clarkson paired together. And up front, the 2 former Dartmouth stars and captains, Tiffany Haig between Jillian Epps and Alicia Jamer, who got the call-up last year and actually played some valuable minutes for Brampton in the postseason. As we're about set to get underway, the 2 number 17s, Haig and Botterill, will square off in the face-off circle. Mississauga in the road dark blue jerseys with the yellow sleeves and white trim will skate left to right in this first period of play. Brampton in the home whites with navy pants, red lettering, and red socks. They'll go right to left here at Century Gardens, which has just gotten an overhaul. That's part of why the internet is a little bit cranky, because they only got it installed about 48 hours before he came up here. So we have a couple more games here to sort things out before tonight. Take you through the opener. Didn't want to miss this one, and it should be a lot of fun. By the way, the video archive will be available after the game, so you will be able to go back and watch some of the highlights, and there figure to be quite a few with the kind of talent that these two teams bring to the table night in and night out. Brampton with the puck in the offensive zone off the opening draw. Haig on the far side matched up with Cheryl Pounder. Mentioned Pounder had her first child a year ago, and back skating this year with the Chiefs and back in the mix for Team Canada as well. Sammy Jo Small stops it behind for Pounder, who leaves in turn for the former Buckeye star Amber Bowman. Up the far side, and here comes Botterill free to center, ladling on left wing to Lara Perks. Perks over the line, matched with Brooke Vieser on the far side. Vieser with a poke check. Slusser trying to clear. The former Wisconsin All-American cancels Summer West against the far side glass, and we get our first stoppage. 40 seconds gone by in a scoreless first period. This will be the first of 8 broadcasts we have in the regular season of the CWHL. We figured to have a couple of postseason games as well. Canadian Women's Hockey League, of course, sponsored by Scotiabank, and when you get to see the video, you'll see the logo nonstop in the corner. Off the ensuing face-off, Jameer winds it around far side to Lori Dupuis. Dupuis, no longer active with Team Canada, still just plays for the love of the game. Actually has a full-time job as a mortgage broker in the Toronto area, but still can pick them up and lay them down. 17 goals a year ago for Brampton en route to that CWHL title. Here's Christy Zamora out of Brown University on left wing at center. Lobbing in, Laura Hosier, her first touch behind. Wound around to the near side point. Held and thrown toward net by Shannon Molson, three-time All-CHA selection for Niagara, dynamic two-way defenseman for Margot Page's Purple Eagles in her day. Ashley Pendleton, who went head-to-head with Molson on a number of occasions as a member of Mercyhurst, deals it up right wing, and here's Hefford in space, one-on-one over the line. Jada Hefford with boasting a bevy of offensive moves, opts for the backhand there and sails it wide of the near post. 90 seconds into a scoreless first period. Hefford peels off, heads off on a change. Mississauga looks to counter. The lead passes for Davies, who runs into Brooke Beezer right on the Brampton blue line. Help comes far side, chipped around the near wall. Mississauga trying to hold the line. The Botterill line is back out. Botterill looking to center, had a player in front, but good defensive rotation as Beezer came over to deny the pass. Katie Dowdall up left wing, gains center ice against Davies and chips into the right of Sammy Jo Small. Small turns it around behind. Handled there by Bowman. Bowman up left wing, and Mississauga gains center ice, but not much further as Apps comes over the boards to seal back in. 2:15 gone in the first period, still no score. As Botterill on right wing gains center ice. Lead pass intended for Angela DeStacy out of Concordia. Tipped off her stick and all the way down. Back the other way, the counter comes for the Thunder. At center ice, stood up by Molson, and Molson drops it right back in for the Chiefs, trying to complete a change. Back out to center. Handled and dumped back in by Mississauga. Hosier stops behind. Thought about giving it to Beezer. Instead looks to clear it herself up left wing. That's bottled up. Apps coming over to help out. Puck pops high in the air. Rianne Jenner on for the first time. Lays it down low to Summer West. Wound around Cheryl Pounder, who holds the line, but right to Beezer. Beezer played some forward, plays some D in Potsdam, New York for the Golden Knights, trying to lead the charge. Mississauga, though, back the other way. The lead pass, Lara Perks, right wing side. The handoff to Brianne Jenner. Wrist shot, and she sails it wide of the near post. Allie Fox behind for the Thunder. Chips around Tiffany Haig. Haig on a headman pass. That bounced off the skates of Perks at center. But rotates it back to Ashley Stevenson, and the assistant captain for the Chiefs. Swings it rink wide for the push to the blue line, where Ashley Pendleton is waiting to take back for the Thunder. Chiefs trying to regroup. Botterill trying to step through Pendleton on the right wing side. Pendleton having none of it. Sends it back out the other way, and the lead passes for Hefford. Hefford on right wing again. The backhander didn't get clean wood to that one. Might have been partially blocked as well. Wound up in the corner with 3:40 gone in a scoreless first period. Sanahara giving chase behind as Stevenson wraps it off the wall and gets it back to center, where the fleet-footed Bobby Jo Slusser will scoop it up for Brampton, feeding Dupuis, who drops it the rest of the way down. Shifts being kept short here in the opening 4 minutes of play. Still no score. Brampton and Mississauga, CWHL opening night. As Hosier, former Mercyhurst standout, mentioned started 3 NCAA tournament games, all heartbreakers. Got a feel for that Mercyhurst program in Hosier's 3 starts as Dowdall trying to tee up a wrist shot from the circle, blocked by a backpedaling Cheryl Pounder. In Hosier's 3 starts in the NCAA tournament, a 2-1 overtime loss, double overtime loss to Wisconsin, a team that Bobby Jo Slusser was a part of, and an overtime loss to Minnesota Duluth, and a regulation loss by 1 goal to Minnesota Duluth. Here's a chance in front of the backhand for Dowdall. Bowled over and out of the play momentarily as back the other way comes Davies through center. Davies on left wing against center ice and chips in. Hosier plays around near side. Dowdall, Ostrander, and Nicole Ruda playing on this line that's headed off on a change. We'll get an icing here as the dump down came from the wrong side of the red line. 4:46 gone by in the first period. Still no score opening night CWHL. Mentioned we have 8 video casts all in to speak of over the course of the season. We'll take a break, actually all in for the next couple of weeks. Won't do anything until October 25th. And then for CWHL fans, really for international fans, we've got a big treat for you coming up in November as Ashley Pendleton off the draw, steps forward. Pendleton, a good two-way player, in center ice on right wing, trying to chip it over the line. Stevenson stands her ground nicely, and a scrum erupts on the far side wall. Pendleton turns, holds momentarily, but then bounced out to center to Lara Perks. Perks and Botterill playing catch as they hit the line. Perks back for Botterill, the redirect, and a full split by Hosier as it trickled just wide. Botterill glides back to center, has West and Perks with her as they get onside. Hosier, though, takes the dump in. Hands it off to Pendleton. Pendleton's clearance foiled. West on the drop for Botterill. Botterill from the angle. Shot is blocked, trying to return it to Perks in front. That's denied. And maybe a chance for transition, but Apps looks like she's close to the end of her shift, so she'll let it go from long range. Sammy Jo Small cradles it and will hold on as Hefford went cruising by. Mentioned for CWHL fans, international fans, starting November 4th, we will be in Lake Placid for the Four Nations Cup. But unlike the World Championships in China, we're actually going to do every single game. So Canada, Sweden, Finland, and the United States, all 8 games over those 5 days. We will do every single one of them in its entirety. It's the only place you can see it. Four Nations Cup never really been covered that much before, so it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. As Christy Zamora between the circles, wrist shot, and Hosier, the game's first quality stop as she holds on with the glove. Zamora, a player who was a tremendous goal scorer at Brown, 120 career points, 72 goals in her Brown career, really put the 2002 Brown team on her back and carried them to the national finals. Last year playing for Burlington in the CWHL, really battled injury all season, but we saw in the playoffs flashes of that brilliant offensive form, and now she's plying her trade for the Chiefs here in year 2 as Hefford races up the left wing side. Step for step, Shannon Molson trying to monitor one of Canada's all-time great scorers. Still going strong at age 31. Hefford, a part of the Four Nations roster that'll be in Lake Placid next month. A younger team and a very defensively oriented team. 9 blue liners on that roster as Canada looking to make some adjustments after an unexpected setback in Harbin this past April. 6.5 gone by in the first. Still no score here. Neutral zone play as Botterill gets the dump in and lets Davies give chase. Davies rubs out Beezer. Botterill into forecheck against Sluicer, and Bobby Joe on the right wing side feeds Ruda. Ruda trying to barrel her way past Stevenson at the point. Good hold by Stevenson for the moment. Sluicer throwing her weight around against Stacey. Finally fished free by Ruda just beyond the line. Davies trying to find an angle to work it back in. Puck just sitting on that blue stripe. The battle's now on the near side wall. Botterill still out there. Very long shift for her, but she's used to it by now. Both in her Harvard days and in her Mississauga days. Going to have the game's first penalty as Botterill was tripped up here outside the circle. So even at the end of that long shift, still enough juice in the legs to draw a call. She went down. And so we'll see a power play for Mississauga here. 12:52 to go in the first period. Still nothing between last year's defending champs and last year's runner-up who went neck and neck all the way down the stretch. Only one game decided the regular season positioning between the two teams. And, of course, it took an overtime goal from Molly Engstrom to give Brampton the championship in a wild finish to that one. Sarah Love injured with about 5 minutes to go in regulation. As Stevenson, a drive, deflection, save is made, a rebound, and Hosier's got it as well as Perks was right there for the follow, but Hosier with the pad stack is able to cover up. Laura Hosier, who incidentally in her junior days up here actually played for the Arrows program. Now coming back as a member of the arch rival in the senior capacity. Hefford out there to menace short-handed. Excellent mobility. A good puck movement as well. West in front, deflection, save, rebound, stopped as well as Botterill that time had 2 looks at Hosier, and Hosier has come out sharp for the Canada Thunder in the early moments. And for Brampton, that would only be a supplement to their arsenal, as Hosier has been sharp. Mentioned her exploits in her days at Mercyhurst. Laura Hosier, 74 wins in her college career, 74, 17, and 10, 1.71 goals against, 92% save percentage for her career, none too shabby. And strutting her stuff here as there's still 1:35 to go on the penalty to the Canada Thunder. Pendleton from behind, harassed by Perks. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a hook there. Botterill digs it free. Deals near side to Summer West. West pulls it to the perimeter. Pounder on the quick swing. Bowman looking at her angles. West couldn't settle out a bouncing puck in the near circle. Pressure comes from behind from Fox. The deal is to Botterill. Botterill swings into the ring near side. Kicks out top. Pounder. Quick release through traffic. Sails wide of the far corner. Bowman on the pinch trying to hold against Dupuis. Dupuis pokes it to Pendleton. Pendleton on the hard around, overcomes Pounder. She could not hold the line with a minute to go on the Mississauga power play. 11:50 to go in the first period. Still nothing. Quickly back to the attack comes Christy Zamora. Zamora angled off by Bobby Joe Sluicer. Zamora has the size advantage and uses it to win the puck free. Zamora from her knees behind the net. Didn't get much on the pass, and Ostrander slings it all the way down. Small wanders away from her crease to play it to Shannon Molson with 38 to go on the power play. Change of lines for both teams. So we see Jenner, Zamora, and Heather Logan skating as a power play forward combination with Stevenson and Molson manning the points. Brampton has Tiffany Haig, Meredith Ostrander, Sluicer, and Fox still out there on defense. Molson steps in for a drive, deflected by Haig over the netting. and out of play. 19 seconds to go on the penalty. As you expect, good pace to this one early. Coming back the other way on right wing for the Chiefs is Perks. Perks down low to Jenner. Jenner trying to dig for it behind. It squirted out in front. It rolls back toward Hosier. Loose puck in front. No shot taken, though, and Hosier able to do the splits and gobble it up in the nick of time. So the faceoff will be to Laura Hosier's right. She has been busy, considerably more so than her Mississauga counterpart, Sammy Jo Small, but still scoreless in this one. And Brampton, a club used to enjoying a healthy shots on goal advantage. That has not been the case in the first 11 minutes of the new season. And Mississauga with attack zone time once again as Bowman holds the line. That's Bolson with a drive. Stick save by Hosier. Back behind, West had it squirt through her stick up the far side boards. Apps with a quick reversal to the near corner. Brooke Beezer, the former assistant captain at Clarkson, feeds it up to Leisure de Mer, trying to hit Haig through center. Tiffany Haig playing with an ailing shoulder this weekend, but gutting it out. Not going to miss the season opener in the arch rivals. As Apps steps in for a wrist shot, snaps it wide. Jillian Apps with that long stride and long reach that was good for 30 goals and an ECAC Player of the Year award her senior year at Dartmouth. Of course, the granddaughter of the immortal Sil Apps, and the daughter of Sil Apps Jr., the longtime NHL veteran. A long drive by Jenner in traffic. That was taken by Hosier. The follow bounces along the end line. In swoops Heather Logan. And Logan, a longtime member of the former Arrows program, and now the Chiefs, starts to cycle with some more. Rolling puck toward Hosier, never got to goal. Christy Alcorn, the Quinnipiac product, bodies up Logan against the back wall. Sanahara deals it up far side to Heifer. Heifer trying to finesse her way past Stevenson, does catch up. Botterill rotates back as left wing side. The headman was for Dupuis, but too far for the intended receiver. And Bowman will get to it down in the corner. 7:48 to play in the first period. Still 0-0. Chip down low in the Mississauga zone. Bowman below the end line, matched up with Heifer. Dealing it around near side Stevenson. Stevenson off the wall. Slusser could not hold in. Logan under duress at center. Heifer menacing. Able to lift Logan's stick and take it away. She's been out there for a while, so she just goes for the dump and the change. Turn back the other way. It should be an icing call. And there is the whistle from the official, so we'll bring it back down by Sammy Jo Small. Still looking for the game's first goal here between Mississauga and Brampton. First game of the Canadian Women's Hockey League season in 2008-2009. And apologize if you're having any problems with the video, but that's why we have both versions. As Pendleton off the draw, and good effort to take the full brunt of that by DeStasi. Took it right off the shin pads, a little bit hobbled. Back at center, Nicole Ruder looks to regroup, and last year's Dartmouth captain throws it in deep on the right wing side. Small stops it behind. Bowman, dangerous idea, trying to carry it in front of her own net, turns it over to Ruder, who has to work it back to the circle. Feeding Pendleton at the point for a wrist shot. Not much steam on that. Intercepted by Cheryl Pounder, and up right wing. DeStasi had to go through her stick. Beezer then fans. In steps DeStasi for a wrist shot, but she didn't get much behind that either. Easy stick save for Hosier. Some congestion behind the Brampton net, taken by Meredith Ostrander. Lead pass to center, finding Ruda. Ruda in some space, hits the line, cuts to the right wing side, monitored step for step by Shannon Molson. Down low it goes, taken there by Slusser on the pinch with 6:20 to go in period number one. Still no score. Turning for a long distance shot, Tiffany Haig. Pad save by Sammy Jo Small. And we'll get a whistle as it's tied up in the corner. 6:12 showing on the first period clock. In the first intermission, you'll hear from Mississauga goaltender Sammy Jo Small, also part of the CWHL executive board. She'll talk some sort of league matters. She'll also talk about what's been going on with her career as well. Looks like we've got a penalty, and it will go the way of the Brampton Thunder. So we'll see Mississauga's power play for the second time. The first unit that's out there right now turned in an excellent 60 seconds and change the first time around, but only some Hosier acrobatics kept it a scoreless tie as Tiffany Haig picks up 2 minutes for boarding. And Summer West lobs to Perks at center. Perks on the handoff to Botterill, cutting through the center of the ice surface. Botterill accelerating to attack speed as she hits the line on left wing. working her way down into the corner. Botterill dealing near side. Summer West in the ring, up top to Stevenson. Stevenson with a wrist shot, looking for the tip. Got it one-handed from Perks, who sailed it wide. Dupuis on the wrap. And that will be enough to get the puck to the red line as Stevenson hands it back to West. They're onside as West hits the line. Telegraphed the drop pass. Dupuis broke it up. West gets it back outside the near ring. Sluicer step for step. Now Botterill down low. Pivots on the forehand, feeding Stevenson. The swing is to Bowman, skipping a pass to Botterill. Right back Stevenson. Stevenson wrist shot, looking for the tip. Rolls in on Hosier, who bobbled it but was able to cover. As once again, Mississauga doing a nice job of getting players to the front, but as of yet, not able to find the winning touch against Laura Hosier, the former Mercyhurst star. Off the draw, Heifer trying to jam it free of the zone, unable to do so. Logan trying to shovel it down low. Gets help from Bowman with a wrist shot, full ankle, split by Hosier one more time. Pounder, long distance offering, heavy traffic in front. That did not go through. Winds up in the near corner, fielded by Allison Fox. Chipped free by Vicky Sanahara, and Sanahara sets sail on left wing. Angled off by Amber Bowman with 38 seconds to go on the power play. Second unit is out there as Logan carries over the line. Logan with a wrist shot, and Hosier, the glove save. She holds on. A little pushing and shoving for the first time after as Hefford and Logan got together. But again, it's Laura Hosier who has been staking her claim to the #1 star early on in this first period. As Mississauga looking coordinated on the power play, both of the chances they've had, but Hosier's been up to the challenge each and every time. We stay 0-0. 33 seconds on the Hague minor as Stevenson gathers, spins away from a check, throws it back door. It's knocked out of midair and just wide by Brianne Jenner. Jenner, the captain of Canada's under-18 team, tall, strapping youngster, as Jillian Apps goes back the other way, playing up with the Mississauga Chiefs, and that figures to be a tremendous experience for her as she will be a coveted prize on the NCAA recruiting trail. We're going to have our first penalty on Mississauga here as Pendleton was boarded up behind the net of Sammy Jo Small. So 4-on-4 for 10 seconds, and then we'll get a look at Brampton's power play for the first time. A power play which last year obviously had a tremendous amount of ability, probably was not as successful as they would have liked or expected. So we'll see what they brought to the table in Season 2. Looks like as they begin to prepare for their unit, Sanahara will be out there with Beezer and Sluicer along with Hefford. Now Hague will be the player coming out of the box. We'll see if she joins the power play or heads to the bench for another skater. It's Hefford outside the ring, just trying to play keep away for another 3 seconds. Hefford squirting behind, slamming on the brakes there, looking at her options. Hague is headed to the bench, so another skater is coming on, and it will be Lori Dupuis as Hefford plays with it down low in the corner. Hard contact with Stevenson as Hefford went down. Sanahara skipping it past Beezer, fumbled it before she could get a shot away as she had come sneaking down. Dupuis from an angle, and there's going to be another penalty to Mississauga. I'm not sure how Dupuis missed that as Small was down and out, didn't see it. Dupuis had some open net, but must have got under it and missed the target. But it will be a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 36 seconds as it looks like Summer West is going to be headed to the penalty box here. So golden opportunity for Brampton after Hosier really saved their bacon on a couple of occasions on Mississauga's power play chances. It's Brampton with a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 36 in the last 4 minutes of the first period with a chance to take the early lead. Same 5 out there for the Canada Thunder. Looks like Botterill, Stevenson, and Molson on this PK. Sanahara head on with the goal. Feeding for Hefford, skipping a pass. Sluicer caught the heel of her stick on a one-timer. Actually, they got Pounder, not West, on that penalty. As Sanahara deals Hefford. Angled shot, pad save is made. A rebound juicy between the circles, but cleared to the far side wall. Handled by Sluicer, kick back up top. Sanahara with a drive. Small never saw it, but it didn't reach the target anyway. As Demare picks up down, goal line extended. Elijah Demare feeding Sluicer on the touch pass. It goes through. Sanahara steps in. Demare was cutting back door. Could not come up with a return feed from Sanahara, and the puck winds up in the corner. 50 seconds of 5-on-3 time. It's a sent around near side. Kicked out top Sanahara. Over to Sluicer. Big one-timer inside of the post. It did not go in. Sanahara with a drive. Still loose outside Small's crease. Bobby Joe Sluicer had Sammy Joe Small beat and rang it off the inside of the bar. Sluicer's got it back. Skipping a pass now to Hefford. Hefford trying to throw it in front with 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3 and 2:45 left in the first period. Brampton menacing. Sluicer, Hefford, far circle, back hoping for Sunahara, went through her stick. Botterell's got a lane and is able to sneak it past Bobby Joe Sluicer at the point for a much-needed clear. Lead passes for Nicole Ruda just on. Ruda in the final 10 of the 5-on-3. Hits the trailer in Pendleton. Pendleton on the backhand. Punched down by Sammy Jo Small. Loose behind the net. Ruda throwing it back in front, but nobody home for the Canada Thunder. First penalty is over. Pounder into the play. Big drive by Pendleton. 18 seconds to go on the second minor. Pendleton with a drive up high. Small caught it. They had no screen in front. Holds on for the draw. And so Brampton, similar to Mississauga at the other end, laying siege unsuccessfully. And we'll have the face-off to Sammy Jo Small's right with 13 seconds of power play time remaining. Off the draw, Tiffany Haig kicks it up top. Apps for a wrist shot, blocked by the skates of Lara Perks. 6 seconds to go on the power play. Ostrander digs it free. Final 2 minutes of the period. We're back to 5 aside. Somehow still scoreless as West is out of the box, but the headman pass does not stay true and goes all the way down for an icing call against the Chiefs. So as you'd expect, high-octane action in the first period. Both teams buzzing on the power play. Both goaltenders bringing their grade A stuff, and that's something that really defines this league is elite goaltending. Most of these teams go 2, sometimes even 3 star goaltenders deep. It is tough to score goals in this league. As through center comes Christy Zamora on the right wing side. Zamora beats her defender, wrist shot, and Hosier with a stick save. A lively carom on the far side as Zamora and Meredith Ostrander, 2 classmates and teammates at Brown University, go toe-to-toe. Mississauga trapped off sides on the far side of the ice, so Ostrander plays it near boards for Sluicer. Up left wing, Katie Dowdall, and she'll lob it in on Sammy Jo Small, who easily steers it aside for Ashley Stevenson. Minute 15 to go in the first period. Zamora on the handoff, right wing, trying to tuck it to Jenner. Jenner had it rolled through her stick, right to Sunahara down low in the Brampton zone. The long headman passes to Hefford, and here comes Hefford one-on-one against Pounder again. Hefford over the line, trying to set up her wrist shot. Pounder fishing for it with the stick, partially deflected it wide. Ashley Pendleton, far point, slides it down low. Dupuis floats it back to Pendleton. Big wind-up, puck on edge, went wide as Hefford went to the front, trying to provide the screen. 45 seconds to go in the period, still no score. Dupuis in front, ladles it down low. Nice poke check by Small to break up the pass intended for Hefford. Loose puck in the corner. Mississauga trying to squeak it free of the zone. Couldn't quite do so. Sunahara holding the line. And trying to play make with a half minute to go in the period. Tucked around behind for Hefford. Hefford spins it in front looking for Dupuis. That was tipped away. Still in the Chiefs zone. A big blast by Sunahara. Small looked behind her, but put the paddle down in the nick of time and stopped the puck's flight before it could reach the line. So still scoreless with 19.1 on the clock in this one. You'll hear from Sammy Jo Small between periods 1 and 2, and then Bobby Joe Sluicer between periods 2 and 3. USCHO Game of the Week. Brian Schultz at Century Gardens in Brampton, Ontario. CWHL season opener. Off the draw. Haig digs it to the corner. Mississauga gets the clear. 12 seconds. It's not going to be an icing here, so Beezer's going to have to play it. Sent through center. Absent congestion has Demir and Haig with her. 5 seconds to go. Lead pass. Apps trying to thread it to Haig, but that's going to do it for the period as Ashley Stevenson cuts to the corner and waits for the whistle. So a spirited beginning, but some excellent goaltending and some fun hockey results in the first period ending exactly the way we started it. 0-0 in this inaugural broadcast. And now we'll turn it over to Mississauga Chiefs goaltender Sammy Jo Small. I'll be back on the other side to set up period number 2. Brampton Canada Thunder and Mississauga Chiefs USCHO Game of the Week. Back on the other side.
took a little bit of a breather because you're right. It took a lot of energy to get that year done. We have learned a lot. We definitely know a lot more. But that doesn't necessarily mean that year 2 is going to be any easier because I think we now know what we want. We know where we want to take this league. And so really the biggest thing is getting the structure in place and getting everybody up and running, the committees going, and I guess just really the want for everybody to make this league not only great this season, but for the next 5 years. So that's what we're really working on now is sort of the 5-year plan.
What were some of the things when you did take that step back that you sort of put at the top of the list as far as, okay, these are, things 1 and 2 and 3 that we want to make sure we fix or improve upon as you come back for this season?
I think first and foremost we wanted to hire somebody that could run the league, essentially. So we have gone through an extensive job search and finally found somebody who will be starting actually this coming weekend, which we're excited about. So that's sort of our first paid employee as an executive director of the CWHL. And I think that that'll just help to bring a lot of structure. She'll be able to be at the center, coordinating all the various different teams. And that way there's a lot of, I think the biggest problem in our league was lack of communication. So that was second on our list, was to ensure that everybody knew the rules and regulations, that the pickup player policies, the where the jersey patches go, all those kind of things that it just takes time to get those communications out. She will be able to do, and so I think we're really excited about that. And I think the third thing we really wanted is to be able to attract some of the top players in the country to be able to play in this league. We were losing a lot of girls to the United States centralized program, and we wanted to fill those spots with girls graduating, whether from the NCAA schools or the CIS schools. So really getting the word out there that this league was ready for its second year and was really the top place in the world for girls to play.
One thing that also stands out, to me at least this year, is that you really sort of focused the locations where the teams are going to be playing. I think certainly in year 1, finding ice, I'm sure, was certainly much of a last-minute challenge. But you see teams this year seem to have really a designated home rink, and then you still have the concept of outreach games as well. So talk a little bit about what that can mean and sort of explain sort of the outreach concept to the people at home who may not understand it.
Yeah, I think each of the teams the greatest thing about the league is that they are affiliated with their local girls hockey organization. So for us in Mississauga, the Mississauga Girls Hockey League has so many girls that play hockey. I think it's at about 10,000 girls that play hockey. And we're the Chiefs, just like they are the Chiefs. They know that we play at Icelands every Sunday morning. That's our home ice. And they can start to dream about someday playing with other Chief players, including Olympians and world champions, and just really look up to the senior team. Each team does have a home rink. However, like you mentioned, we do have satellite games. And the reason that we do that as a league is to try to bring elite women's hockey to smaller communities in Ontario and Quebec that may not get to see women's hockey at the highest level, and really promote the game in those areas. Because I think as elite women's hockey players, it really is up to us to promote the game. The game has given us so much that it's our opportunity to give back, and maybe give back to some of those small towns that some of the girls are from. We're playing in one of the games up in New Liskeard, and that's where Lindsay Vine from the Burlington Barracudas is from there. It's about 6 hours north of Toronto, but the CWHL is taking a game up there to be able to show it to her hometown. We also play in Bowmanville, which is where our captain, Summer West, is from. It really becomes a Summer West show out in Bowmanville as they welcome their hometown hero back. So we really try to do things like that to promote the game and to let people in Ontario know that this is the elite women's hockey league, and their young girls should also dream of playing someday in this league.
Also a new feature this year, at least slated on the schedule, a couple of games that mix the CWHL with the NHL in some capacity. Tell the folks a little bit about that idea and how that came together.
Well, the NHLers really wanted to play in our league, but we said no boys allowed, so just joking. Basically what those games are they're exhibition games where we're going to play against the NHL alumni teams in an effort to fundraise for our league. The NHL alumni has come on as a huge supporter of our league, and I think this is their way of donating and supporting our league, is to really showcase the game, to get people out into the stands, to promote the game, and to have a little bit of fun by doing it. I mean, getting to play against NHL legends will be pretty cool for the girls in our league, but I think for the guys as well, it'll be neat for them to see women's hockey at the highest level. By no means is it a full competitive game. I think it'll be for fun, and I think most of the girls are looking forward to it, and I know a lot of fans are looking forward to it as well.
Talking with Mississauga Chiefs goaltender Sammy Jo Small. Let's talk a little bit about your team. You've done your league duty there for the first 7 or 8 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs. As you mentioned, certainly an excellent first season together, but the last time we saw your team obviously was in overtime at the inaugural CWHL championship game, 1 goal short against your arch rival in Brampton. So tell me a little bit about sort of bringing the squad back together, making a few changes this year, and going after your first CWHL title this season.
Well, yeah, the last year's CWHL final was a tough loss, especially to Brampton. But I think as a team we were pretty proud of what we had accomplished. Midway through the season, I don't think we thought we were going to achieve so much, having won a national championship and coming second in the league playoffs. But in the end, I think the reason that we did it is that we were able to support each other and be there for each other. And it just was a lot of fun. I think we had a fun team of girls that were committed, but also had other things in their lives that they did. It wasn't the be-all, end-all if we lost a game, and we were able to come back from those failures. And we did lose a significant amount of games, but we won the right ones. And in the end, beating Montreal in the semifinal game in a shootout, and then winning the national championships in overtime, in a second overtime, was sort of the pinnacle of our year. But we did lose some of our players. We lost Jennifer Raimondi, who scored our overtime shootout victory against Montreal, scored the goal, and she's decided to retire and continue her profession. She works at the NHL now, and we've lost her. We lost Mariah Heinhaus, one of our star defensemen, to Teachers College, and we lost Sherry Piper, who to me is one of the best hockey players in the world. We lost her to the Calgary team. So she's moved out west, and we've tried to fill those spots, and those are pretty big shoes to fill. But I think the most notable player that we had come in this year was Brianne Jenner, and Brianne is the captain of the under-18 national team for Team Canada, and just an amazing player. I mean, she's so fun to watch. She's got so much skill and size at only 18 years of age. It's pretty impressive. I think she'll take no time in getting used to the caliber of hockey in this league. We've had some other new additions, and we also have a new goaltender as Sarah Love, who played in that final game against Brampton, is still not back from her knee injury that she sustained 5 minutes left in the game. So we're hoping she can make it back soon, but we have O'Hara Shipe stepping in and taking her spot for now. So I think we, as a team, we have a lot of young players, a lot of players that are new to the league, but we have so many veterans and so many of us older players that can show them the ropes, I guess.
You gloss over that shootout against Montreal. That was notable for you on a personal level, probably something that you never really had to do, and probably something you hope you never have to do again, which is you suffered an injury yourself during that final game. And you'll have to explain to the folks at home how a goaltender with a knee injury, and a pretty serious knee injury at that, manages to stay upright long enough to actually participate in a shootout and win it.
How do you, I guess you have to be pretty stupid is maybe the only way to answer that. I guess life has its own little twists and turns, but 3 days before that game against Montreal, I was told that I had been cut from the national team. Obviously a pretty tough time for me as a hockey player and also as a goaltender. Having to travel to Montreal to play those semifinal games wasn't easy. It wasn't necessarily the place I wanted to be, but I think, the reason that I was able to have the game that I did was that I just made the decision that this was for me. And so with about, I think it was 10 minutes left in the game, Katie Weatherston, who was playing for the Montreal team at the time, landed on my shoulders when I was in the butterfly and snapped me right back. And so I sustained a 95% tear of my MCL. And, probably shouldn't have continued the game. But I really wanted to win, and I really wanted to contribute to the team and to make a difference. And who knew if that was going to be my last hockey game or not? And I was going to give it my all for the last 10 minutes of the game. Now, we ended up actually losing the game. I think it was 2-1. And because of that, it went into an overtime because it was a best-of-2 series. And so it went into overtime to determine the winner. And there was no winner after overtime. And so then it became a shootout, and it was myself against Kim St. Pierre, who is another goaltender on the national team and one of the best goaltenders in the world. So I think because knowing that she is so good, I was hoping that my team would score each and every time they stepped down the ice. But when they didn't, that's when the nerves were on, and I had to stop them. And luckily, after I think it was the 8th shooter, Jennifer Raimondi put the puck in off Kim's glove, and we won. And I think for me personally, despite having been to the Olympics and having won the World Championships, that might be my most memorable game, because it was, fighting through adversity, but it was also, that gave us the ability to go to the national championships, to play in the CWHL finals, and to have all those more experiences that we wouldn't have had. Our season would have been over. So that was pretty neat and exciting to be a part of. And it took me about 3 months to actually be able to walk again, but I'm back playing now. So.
Well, hopefully this weekend won't be as painful in multiple senses of the word, but it is the new season, and you guys certainly aren't waiting long to warm things up. As I mentioned, last time we saw you in a CWHL game was against the Brampton Canada Thunder. This weekend we'll see you against that same Brampton team, also with a few changes as well over at their new home rink, Century Gardens. So tell me a little bit about excitement. I know you've been through a lot of seasons, a lot of season openers, but I would imagine when you see the arch rival for game one of the new season that the emotions and the energy has to come pretty easy.
Yeah, and every time we play against Brampton, they do. I mean, so many of the players that play for the two teams have played for these teams for a while, and we've had a lot of big games against each other, and they've gone both ways. Like you mentioned, Brampton beat us in the final last year, and we beat them in the national final. So there's never any love lost on the ice, that's for sure. I think these two teams are two of the top teams in the world, especially when they're playing against each other. And it's exciting. I mean, anytime you get to start the hockey season, I think it's always a thrill. And I guess it's one of those things you just never know what to expect from your team until you actually step into a game. And we've been practicing for the past month, and I mean, everything looks good, but who knows what's going to show up in a game. You can't really measure heart in a practice. And so it'll be interesting to see our new kids, what they can bring to the team, and just if this year really is going to be as successful as last year. And hopefully, despite win or lose, hopefully our team is able to still have fun in doing it and be able to, I guess, make this a stepping stone towards the rest of the season. This is just one of 30 games. It's going to be a long season, but this is how we start to make our mark, hopefully.
Thoughts of Mississauga Chiefs goaltender Sammy Jo Small, and heard her talk about a lot of things related to the league in its second season, and one of the facets that I think is a good step in the right direction for all the teams is you're seeing last year, because the league was put together kind of at the last minute, really a big full-fledged scramble for some ice time. And so a lot of teams, even though they had home rinks, they really kind of played in 3 or 4 different facilities as their home rink. This year, a lot more consistency. Each team basically has one home facility. And then you heard Sammy Jo talk about some of these sort of extra things that they're doing to try to touch the community, the outreach games, which generally have a pretty good crowd. This game, which actually has a halfway decent crowd for the season opener. And then you heard her mention a couple of the games involving the National Hockey League alumni, which we're actually going to do one of those games. It's not really a kind of game that we would typically do. It's going to be on December 14th at the Cops Coliseum. But it's for a good cause. Obviously, it's for the CWHL. They're trying to raise funds, and it links the CWHL with the NHL. And so we're going to do one of those and try to have some fun with it. And hopefully we'll try to help the league raise some dollars as well through that. So for a good cause, and happy to help out. Mentioned in our CWHL coverage, there will be a number of games. We've also got a number of other things going on as well. We haven't released the full schedule, but we will in the next week or two. As I mentioned, we wanted to get sort of opening weekend out of the way. I'd be lying if I said I also didn't just want to get out of New York City with what's going on there with the financial system and such. I can't really talk about that. Obviously, that's my real job. Let's just suffice to say it's bad. and it's getting worse. And if people aren't scared, well, you should be, because it's going to be a very interesting, trying time. But having said that, it makes hockey all the more worthwhile, all the more fun to pursue. So we wanted to get this sort of two-game set on the opening weekend, an NCAA game and a non-NCAA game. We'll take a couple weeks off, and then we'll kind of resume on October 25th when Boston College visits Providence. And then after that, we'll take another week off, but then really dive in as the Four Nations Cup kicks off on November 4th. And we mentioned we're going to do all 8 games, video stream, audio stream. Supposedly we'll be able to do the whole works. I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be better than it was in Harbin, China. But then again, from a broadcast perspective, what wouldn't be better than what we had in Harbin, China? That was about as low on the totem pole as we've ever been and ever hoped to be. But it was great to be there, but it's, from a broadcast perspective, something that I hope never to go through ever again. After that, we'll actually get into sort of the more regular weekly routine. We've got some great matchups for you sort of before the holidays. And we're going to some more exotic locations among the things we have coming up. Women's college hockey is going to make its debut in the state of Florida November 21st and 22nd, as Wisconsin and UNH are going to play a pair of games down in Fort Myers at the Fort Myers Stadium. We're going to be there to do both of those games. Should be a lot of fun. It'll be very different. It's sort of a community rink in the spirit of what we have up here in the CWHL, and word is that the game will be sold out, if in fact it hasn't already been sold out. Other matchups you can look forward to in the NCAA ranks ahead of the winter break. Harvard and Minnesota over Thanksgiving weekend. Wouldn't miss that series for the world. Should be a lot of fun. We'll also have another game at Providence against Connecticut as we get all the sort of Hockey East rivalries out of the way on the front side. Also have a couple of WWHL games. Calgary Oval Extreme, the Minnesota Whitecaps. They will play the first weekend of December, a 3-game set. We're hoping to have 2 of those games as well. And then in the mid-December, we'll make our comeback to the CWHL when this Brampton club takes on Vaughan Saturday night, December 13th over at the Vaughan Sports Village. And then, as we mentioned, the fundraising game on December 14th at the Cops Coliseum, CWHL All-Stars NHL alumni. And then we finish out the front side of our holiday schedule involving this Mississauga Chiefs team over at their home rink, the Iceland facility, on Sunday, December 21st, as they take on the Burlington Barracudas. So it should be a lot of fun on the front side. USCHO Game of the Week. As I said, it's been a scramble. Definitely what's been going on with my real paid profession. Preparing for this season has been a lot different than the others. Usually August is the deadest month of the year, and September is pretty quiet as well, coming off of Labor Day. So I always have that time to sort of prepare and get everything lined up. And this year, it just didn't happen. I think everyone reading the headlines probably knows. I mean, I work in the financial sector and I cover financial services stocks. So, you know, Lehman, AIG, Fannie, Freddie, those are all companies I've followed, past tense emphasized. And so to have to deal with that on an everyday basis was something that has been certainly pretty trying and pretty difficult. And I'm still in a pretty lucky position. I can still go do this. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But as we sort of put out the warning to people that this season has a little more uncertainty than the past seasons have, and we're hoping it doesn't come to that. But, you know, with what's going on in the environment, I would say there is at least a chance that even I don't make it through the end of this season, just from sort of a fiscal perspective. So we'll see what happens as we get set for period number 2. Got a couple minutes away from the start as the teams will change ends here. And interesting, as we've said, this is a goaltenders league. For all the great stars who play on the ice in the field positions, most of the games we have done have been low scoring. And unlike in the college games where you can see some traps and you can see some systems that really limit chances, these games tend to be more free-wheeling, more run and gun. It really is the best shooters against the best goalies. And what we've seen is that consistently the goaltenders have had their way, whether it be Sammy Jo Small between the pipes here, Sarah Love when she gets back off the injured list, Laura Hosier making her debut at the other end has shown that she's certainly in that upper echelon already as well. Tanya Pinelli, of course, great goaltender over in Burlington. Vaughn's goaltenders are not back, but they were certainly tremendous last year. Mel Quinn leading the way there. And, of course, in Montreal, the great Kim St. Pierre is back as well. So there have been a lot of top-flight goaltenders that have come through this league, and that's why at the end of period number 1, we find ourselves still not at 0-0 despite a bevy of good scoring opportunities for both teams. And we're back underway as the teams will change ends. Tiffany Haig, right wing side, trying to create a play through center. Tipped away by Shannon Molson. Puck dropped down deep. Steal. Apps in front. Wrist shot. Great save. Sammy Joe Small with the shoulder. Loose puck in the crease. Oh, that's dangerously close to a penalty shot. As Cheryl Pounder is on her knees alongside Shannon Molson. And fortunately for the two defensemen, Sammy Joe Small is the one who has her trapper on top of it. As both defensemen going desperately for the cover, as Small stopping Apps point blank. The puck kind of ticked off her glove, dropped right behind her. She looked around, reached back for it, and the two defensemen came in sprawling, trying to cover it up. Had one of them done so, would have seen a penalty shot for the Canada Thunder, but Small got there in the nick of time. And again, we stay 0-0 after another great save. Dumped back in on the right wing side by the Canada Thunder. As you mentioned, most of the games we've done with them, most of the games they've played since this league's inception, they tend to have the run of play and the shot advantage due to their potent offense. We have not really seen that with any great consistency in the first 20 minutes. Both teams were certainly looking potent on the power play, but at even strength, Mississauga seemed to have the better possession, especially their top line. As Summer West from long range, Hosier was kind of screened off. It sailed wide, on around far side. Laurie Dupuis picks up, surveys the scene, looks for her options. Sunahara trying to deal it ahead to Hefford, but Hefford won't be able to catch up and negate icing as it goes all the way down. We'll get a stoppage. Also want to pass along a quick plug for a former CWHL player who's working on her own business this year. Kim McCullough, former Dartmouth captain, is the founder of Total Female Hockey, who wants to develop the most complete girls hockey players possible. Kim reports that after spending the majority of her career tired, injured, and frustrated, she's been working on helping other female players from novice all the way to the national team level avoid making the same training mistakes she made as a young athlete. Total Female Hockey focuses on helping coaches and parents develop their players safely and effectively on and off the ice. And she has a website, TotalFemaleHockeyClub.com. So take a look at that. Kim McCullough is a great person. You'll hear from her actually over the course of the season. She's actually going to be working with me on occasion. She's out of town this weekend, but she's probably going to be in the color analyst seat a couple of times, as she was for that inaugural CWHL final a year ago. So certainly wish her the best. TotalFemaleHockeyClub.com. Head over there to find out more. Face-off down by the right of Laura Hosier. 1:39 gone in the second period. Still 0-0. Mississauga Chiefs, Brampton, Canada Thunder, and Jennifer Broderill out there for Harvard. From Harvard, out there for Mississauga. Force of habit, as we went to school together a long time ago. Cheryl Pounder on the bounce pass to Davies, who overskated. Taken back by Katie Dowdall. Dowdall through center, stick handling against Pounder. Pounder has backup in Molson as well. Incidentally, Cheryl Pounder thus far certainly looks like she's back in game shape after having her first child. And here's Botterill, always in game shape, trying to burn through the neutral zone, but fended off at the last possible second by the equally swift Bobby Jo Slusser. Meredith Ostrander down deep, handling on the backhand behind her own net, feeds Slusser on the near side, touched out to center ice. Puck bouncing there for Ruda. Brampton trying to gain some speed through center. Collision along the near side wall. Davies turns it back the other way for the Chiefs. Couldn't spring Summer West. Heavy congestion at center ice. Neither team with any good flow right now. As West picks up on the backhand. Trying to dip it over the line. Got help from DeStasi to do so. But it's sent back out to Tiffany Haig. And Haig ladles it all the way down. This won't be an icing as Small plays it aside for Amber Bowman. Bowman on the wrap. Finding Brianne Jenner. Jenner bumps down Brooke Beezer. Jenner is a hulking target for an 18-year-old. As Laura Perks moves over the Brampton line, throwing it back in front for the redirect, looking for Jenner, who did catch a piece of it. Hosier might have had to make a save with the right leg. We're actually at the far end of the facility, so hard to see exactly what Laura Hosier was dealing with there, but Jenner certainly does not look out of place. Mentioned she's the captain of Canada's under-18 squad. Last year, Canada in the inaugural event, coming up with the silver medal to the U.S.'s gold. Lead pass through center. Here comes Haig. Haig on the tip to the blue line. Ashley Stevenson hands there, but turns it over to Haig. Haig barrels into the corner against Jenner. Mentioned Haig playing with the ailing shoulder. Takes a bump there from Jenner in the corner. Turn back the other way, and Botterill 1-on-3. Trying to cut wide. Beats one defender. Botterill now in the playmaking position. Bad angle shot save. And a ricochet out to the point. In steps Pounder, ladling down low. Trying to throw it to the front. Lots of blue shirts looking for a shot attempt, but the puck pops over their sticks to the near side boards. Quick reversal. Pounder holds. Nice centering pass. Botterill was the trailer between the circles, reaching for it in vain as the puck rolls to the blue line, but not quite out. Zamora then turns it over, and away goes Jana Hefford up the right wing side. Hefford hits the line with some teammates. A wrist shot from distance sails wide. On the far side, throwing it to the front. Hefford losing on the poke check to Pounder. Turned back to Zamora, and Zamora for the Chiefs finding Botterill at center. Botterill gains the line on the right wing. Feeding Logan in the middle. Logan pushing for it. No shot taken as Heffer kicked it free. Good defensive play by Jana Heffer there. Brampton looking to get a change, so Dupuis will opt for the dump down and head for the bench. 5 minutes gone by in the second period, still no score as Amber Bowman lays on ahead for the former Brown standout Zamora. Zamora over the line with Summer West. West, wrist shot, patted down by Hosier. Lively Caramount, the near side, and away go the Canadet Thunder. As Dowdell sends Nicole Ruda over the line. Ruda slamming on the brakes. Deals it back out top. Quick release by Beezer. Sammy Joe Small gobbles it up in the chest protector and holds on for the draw. Beezer making her CWHL debut with the Chiefs here this evening. Graduating from Clarkson a year ago. 75 points in her Clarkson career. An assistant captain in 2008. Mobile defenseman for then coach Rick Seeley, who's now at Quinnipiac, is off the draw. Shot in on Small, easily sticked aside. Stevenson scurries over. Matched up with Slusser in the corner. Slusser protecting. Establishing the cycle now for Meredith Ostrander. Ostrander, who can play defense and forward and did some of both in her days at Brown, graduating in 2002. Angles a shot off the blocker of Small. Turning attempt by Ruda is blocked in front by Amber Bowman. Bowman couldn't get the clear. Drive by Beezer through traffic. Punched down to the far wall by Small's blocker. Ruda back on it. Fans on her centering pass, and it's taken now by Summer West. West curls behind her own net. There'll be a penalty here. A little bit of a light call on Nicole Ruda. It will be for a slash. Didn't look like there was a ton going on there, but as Brampton touches up, the hand is in the air, so we'll see Mississauga's power play in the first man advantage of this second frame in a scoreless tie. I mentioned Summer West, captain of this team, but also a tremendous softball player, part of Team Canada's 2000 Olympic softball club, also a four-time champion in the old NWHL. And last year, 23 goals, 25 assists in playing all 30 games for the Mississauga Chiefs. And she'll stay on as Botterill takes the draw to Laura Hosier's right. Momentary indecision here. Puck is finally dropped, and Brampton a quick clearance, sending it the distance. Small will paddle it aside for Shannon Molson. Again, apologizes if you're having any problems with the video. It will be up after the game is over as Botterill slings it into space to Pounder, leading the charge from her blue line position. The drop pass to Logan from distance. Pad save is made. Rebound, they score! Christy Zamora out of midair, able to backhand the follow home, and Mississauga a power play goal to lead 1-0. Well, you got the sense the way Hosier and Small were playing, it was going to take something cumulative and probably something pretty special, and that is what Mississauga delivered there as Logan threw one in front. A pretty good charge from along the far side boards. Hosier kind of blockered it up into the air, and Zamora kind of hooked her stick prone in the backhand position. There might be a discussion as to whether she put it in with a high stick, but Zamora was able to take it out of midair and hammer it underneath the crossbar with the backhand to give the Chiefs a 1-0 lead, showing that goal-scoring touch that produced 72 goals in her days at Brown, including 35 as a senior in 2002. Mentioned she battled injuries all of a year ago. Has looked very spry in the first 26 minutes here. She picks up the game's first tally on the power play. Brampton trying to respond here. Slutzer with a follow-up shot that's partially deflected. Sonahara's centering feed taken by Amber Bowman for the Chiefs, who couldn't clear by Slutzer along the near point. Down low, Sonahara again trying to center, and again it's denied. Sonahara menacing Davies on the near side wall. Still no clearance. Finally forced up the near side boards by Davies. As Brampton all of a sudden springing to life after Mississauga broke the ice with that power play tally by Zamora. Now in on Hosier, who has to make another nice pad save. And she flips it up calmly in the air to herself. And she stays in the game as Laura Hosier has been excellent in the first period plus, despite surrendering that brilliant tally by Zamora on the backhand. Face off to her left. West is going to take this one. Opposite, it looks like Ostrander. One cleanly to Jenner. Fan on the shot attempt. And Allie Fox gets the clear for Brampton. Amber Bowman on the tip over to Lara Perks. Perks 5 times a member of Canada's under-22 team. Also was on the senior national team for the Four Nations Cup back in 2003. Product of Wilfred Laurier in the CIS system. Out to center. Comes Ostrander with some speed on the backhand, laying across for Ruda. Bad angle shot. Pad saved by Small. Ruda trying to go on the wraparound follow, and the net came off its moorings in the process. So we'll get a stoppage and a face-off in the Mississauga zone with the Chiefs up 1-0. Christy Zamora from Heather Logan on the power play. Mentioned Sammy Jo Small. You heard her talk about it in the interview. 3-month rehab after tearing her MCL. And as she described in that shootout against Montreal, as a long drive, shoulder save Small, dangerous times here as it's loose in front. Apps couldn't bang it home. Puck tipped up the far side wall. Taken by Jameer. Haig rotates to the blue line, trying to knock it down low. Picked off, though. And here's Logan ladling a backhander to Zamora. Zamora over the line, trying to drop it off for it looked like Botterill, who blew a tire before she could get a shot away. Puck winds up in the near side corner of the Chiefs' offensive zone. 2-on-2 scrap. Dug free by Botterill, trying to turn in center. Zamora on the backhand, barreling through, flops it just wide of the mark as Hosier was down and out. And it's taken by Ostrander, who leads a nice clean breakout up right wing to Haig. Haig, though, dispossessed by Shannon Molson along the blue line. Dealing back for Botterill, feeding through to Zamora. Zamora hitting the Brampton line, centering past Botterill for the redirect, stopped by Hosier. The follow fished wide by Heather Logan. And Brampton looking for the clear on the right wing side as Sonahara tips it to the red line. Dumped back in by Amber Bowman, the Ohio State product, and Pendleton out of Mercyhurst picks up behind her own net. Chiefs leading 1-0, 11:45 to go in period number 2. Brampton floats it back to the Chief blue line. Stevenson under some duress, just hacks it out of harm's way. Nearly too many men on the ice for the Canada Thunders. They were going for a change, but all's well as Hefford restores order and deals it up the right wing side to a charging Bobby Joe Slusser. Slusser with speed turns the corner, but couldn't handle it for the shot. Has to keep going after on the far side wall where she's canceled out. Now there could be a 3-on-1 the other way as Perks on right wing has Jenner driving in the middle. Perks looking to go backdoor. Nice rotation and recovery by Dupuis to deny the pass. And then a long distance shot floats in on Hosier, who gloves and holds for the draw. So Slusser went and gambled at the offensive end. Didn't really get some help in rotation. So on the far side going back the other way became a 3-on-1 for the Chiefs. But Dupuis was able to rotate back in the nick of time and break up the pass across intended for Breanne Jenner. Still 1-0. Zamora the only goal. It came on the power play. Beautiful midair backhand deflection that was close to being over the crossbar, but ruled to be good by the official. It's off the draw. Allison Fox feeling heat from behind from Jennifer Botterill. Trying to get the clear to center. Stolen though by Angela DeStasi. Fans on her dumping attempt. And neutral zone play continues on the near wall. Puck rolling now into the Chiefs zone. Small's going to have to paddle it around far side. Dowd all giving chase against Davies. Poked up the boards and out. DeStasi meets Fox just inside the blue line. Botterill has to retreat to center to regroup. Touch pass now to Davies as she hit the stripe of the offensive real estate for the Chiefs. Broken up by Aruda. And play settling down here in the recent minutes after that Mississauga goal. Coming up on the midway point of the contest. Still 1-0 in favor of the road team as we get a whistle here. And a stoppage. Looks like the draw coming outside the zone. Anyway, the point back to Sammy Jo Small in that game against Montreal in the playoffs. Injured her knee during regulation. Made it through overtime. Because it was a playoff series, Montreal actually won the game. But since they were down a game in the series, it necessitated an overtime and a shootout. And even though Small had the torn MCL, she found that in the shootout scenario, where she only had to make the one save, so there's a chance for West from a bad angle. Shoulder saved by Hosier. Loose puck by the side of the net. Golf to the wall. Demir from a bad angle fires it in. Sorry, that was Bowman. And covered up again by Hosier. But Small found that even in a shootout scenario where she only had to make the one save and then basically had all the time she needed to get back up, that the knee didn't bother her going down. It really only bothered her when she kind of had to try to snap back to position. So she was actually functional in the shootout, and Mississauga was able to win the shootout opposite Kim St. Pierre and go on to the CWHL final. Back at center ice, Ashley Stevenson, a rink line, beating Amber Bowman. Bowman better than 100 points in her career at Ohio State. Two-time All-WCHA selection and a 2-year captain as well. She'll lob it deep. Here's Logan trying to throw it in front, hoping for Zamora. That pinballed away. Big blast by Bowman from an angle. Stick save by Hosier again. And Mississauga is definitely racking up the shot totals again here. This is not what we typically see from Brampton. Here's a glove save. A rebound was loose, but not able to be put home again, as another good shift by this Zamora combination. And they're out there with West and Logan. It was Logan and Zamora that produced the goal. Now Mississauga kind of a sloppy change as Brampton gets the dump down, but they're trying to get fresh legs out as well. And the cross-ice dump in handled by Ashley Stevenson in her own end. She promptly rifles it up the left wing side as it goes the distance. Should be an icing call. And there is the whistle. The draw back by Sammy Jo Small. Mississauga leading 1-0. 9 minutes to go in the second period. USCHO game of the week. Brian Schultz here at Century Gardens. Reminder, in the second intermission, we'll hear from former Wisconsin All-American Bobby Jo Slusser, who's at this point probably a regular on the program. She's been on 2 or 3 times before. But as I was telling her this week, it's a little bit easier now that she's graduated. There's less of a formula to the interview, so I can ask her stuff that didn't used to be able to when she was at Wisconsin. So we'll talk some CWHL. We'll definitely be talking some Badger hockey as well, as Mississauga dumps it down to the left of Hosier. Wound around to Vicky Sunahara on the near side. Now taken by Molson, trying to free herself for a shot. That was blocked. Lots of traffic down low. Botterill and Sunahara tangling forward against the back glass. Jenner comes in and throws her weight around against Hefford. Nice clearance. Here comes Dupuis, left wing side. Dupuis, one-on-one against Molson. Bad angle shot, patted away by Small. Molson holds her ground. Molson, who is from Mississauga, so back playing in the hometown, pops it up the near side wall. Trying to get some help on the clearance and springs it ahead to Botterill. Botterill lopes after it. Trying to throw it back for Perks off the mark. And they were trying to get to the bench for a change anyway. So Mississauga goes for the dump down, and Slusser will field behind her own net. Comes out the near side. Hefford content to play dump and chase. And Stevenson will rotate it back out to center. Foot races on at the other end as Ostrander angles off Rebecca Davies. Ostrander with the size advantage puts Davies into the back wall. And Brampton will move back to center on the right wing side. Here comes Nicole Ruda. Ruda trying to finesse her way past. Stevenson stands her up just inside the blue line. Counterattack coming. Rebecca Davies, right wing side. Davies over the line, edge of the circle. Wrist shot gloved out of the air by Hosier and holds on once again. 7.5. Neutral zone play once again. Apps overskating just off the bench. Haig tags up to stay on side. Long enough for her teammates to get the dump in. Here's Molson. Sandwich to the glass by Apps, taken instead by Pounder. Pounder on the rotation for Breanne Jenner. Jenner on the feed through center, finding Perks, and on through to Summer West with some space against Slusser. West toe dragging for a shot that was deflected by Slusser wide of the mark, coming up on 6 to go in the second period. West lets it go back behind Jenner, trying to throw it back through the goal mount. That was intercepted and worked free by Alicia Demare, who has Haig driving on the right wing side in a 2-on-1. Demare across. Haig fumbled the feed and rolled it back behind. Stevenson able to take over for the Chiefs. Steal though by Sunahara. They're all alone. Sunahara and Hefford 2-on-0. Hefford scores! Sunahara across, and Hefford ain't going to miss from there. We're tied at 1 off the giveaway. Now, Brampton squandering the first odd man as Haig couldn't come up with the feed from Demare, but after Stevenson made a bad decision coming up the left wing side, trying to skate it herself under duress with no support behind her, gave the puck away, and all of a sudden it was Vicky Sunahara on the right wing side and Jana Hefford in the middle, and no blue shirts between them and the goaltender. And Sunahara just laid it across, and Canada's third all-time leading goal scorer just finessed it calmly past, got a little bit of lift on it to put it over Sammy Jo Small's pad, and so last year's leading goal scorer in the league has her first this season to tie the game at 1. Coming up on 5 to go in the second period. And Small falls on top of it. And, Botterill and Hefford with the gloves up high, and Hefford gets put to the ice. We might have a penalty on the back of that one. Hefford, a player who does take a lot of punishment. Not that big, only about 5'5". And Botterill just trying to protect their goaltender. Of course, Botterill and Hefford longtime line mates with Team Canada, as they were in this most recent World Championship. But, they're friends when they're in the Canada uniform, but it's all about supporting and protecting your own side here in the CWHL. There will be a penalty to the Chiefs. Now, Botterill didn't get it. It must have been the second player in who was ruled to have made contact with Hefford. So Botterill's to the bench. There is a Chief off in the penalty box, so Mississauga will get a power play fresh off having tied the game. So Amber Bowman picks up the 2-minute minor for roughing up Hefford in front. And it looks like the Mississauga net is off its moorings here, so we get a stoppage. And a golden opportunity for the Canada Thunder to take its first lead of the night. So Hefford scores the goal and goes and mixes it up in front of the net and draws a call. And so we'll have Brampton 5-on-4. Looks like Apps and Ostrander manning the points. And that puck's going to be deflected out of play as Apps try to launch one. Looks like Haig, Ruda, and Fox out there as well. Mississauga countering Pounder, Logan, Zamora, and West. And Ostrander's going to take the draw. Opposite of Heather Logan. Neither team with the edge. Finally dug free by West. She's got plenty of room. And calmly pushes the puck all the way down with 1:35 to go on the minor penalty to Bowman. 4:45 left in the second period. Slung around far side to center. Fielded there by Logan. Dropped back in the defensive zone as Pounder will chase after it. Pounder sending around near side. West with another clearance. Haig knocked it down so it wouldn't go all the way to the end line. Haig now takes the return pass on the left wing side through center, playing the off wing position. Snaps off the wrist shot, save is made. Haig gets it back. Curls behind the net, uses the indirect pass to her former college teammate, Jillian Epps. Far side it goes to Pendleton. Pendleton to Haig. Haig bumps from behind, pushes it back for Pendleton. Pendleton skips Haig, goes down low to Ostrander. Ostrander now back for Haig. Haig turning it, blind pass though, stolen and cleared by a diving Zamora. 45 seconds to go on the penalty as Slusser races back to pick up in her own end. Lead pass now for Hefford, just on for the first time. Hefford skips around a defender. Hefford walks in, wrist shot, shoulder saved by Small, and she holds on for the draw. Hefford ever slippery. And it's kind of hop, skipping a jump past one defender and trying to go high to the short side, but Small up to the challenge that time, keeps the game tied at 1 with still 38 seconds of power play time to work with as Haig, Dupuis, and Sunahara are now out there. Looks like Slusser and Demir as well. Slusser on the swing. Sunahara playing up top. Swinging it far side to Hefford. Down low Demir trying to deflect it on goal. Fall off by Small. Brampton sends 2 to the puck behind against Stevenson, who goes down on top of it. Dug free by Dupuis. Botterill there. Sends up to the point. No clearance. Big drive. Slusser with a screen in front. Sails wide. Ricochet comes to Hefford just outside the far ring, and she steps into the circle. Gathers. Fires through traffic. That was deflected by the legs of Shannon Molson. Wound hard around. Slusser able to hold the line with that good mobility. Banks it off the boards down low for Lori Dupuis. Up top now for Sunahara. Turnover though. Brienne Jenner sets sail short-handed. Can Slusser catch her? And she does. So Slusser catching up to the youngster. Lifts her stick and takes it away as we're back to 5 aside. 3 minutes to go in the second. Still tied at 1 apiece. Zamora for the Chiefs and Hefford for the Canada Thunder. Long lead pass for the Canada Thunder, but they were trying to get to the bench, so Pounder takes over for the Chiefs. Head and hands the other way on left wing in the final 2:45 of the period. Summer West waiting for a pass that won't come as the puck is stalled along the near side glass, and we get a stoppage here. With now 2:35 showing on the second period clock. West will stay out there to take the draw. Chiefs able to jump in on the left wing side. Pendleton scoops it up behind her own net. Her receiver bobbled it. Pendleton gets it back though. This time she takes matters into her own hands. Barrels out the left wing side to center. Finally stalled by Summer West, who finesses it back over the stripe momentarily, but fired right back out. Now it's Ruda. Ruda on the left wing side, the former Dartmouth captain from a year ago. Sails a wrist shot wide as she's at the end of her shift. Ostrander on the near side wall. And another tie-up. We'll get Another stoppage with exactly 2 minutes on the clock. Reminder, interview with Bobby Joe Sluicer coming up between periods 2 and 3 here, USCHO Game of the Week. Again, apologize for the video difficulties with the Brampton wireless connection. But that's why we have the audio. And it's been another good one. Even though it's a season opener, you can definitely see a little bit of rust in this first game of 30 for these teams. Good pace, good fitness, and some excellent play from the stars and goaltenders on both sides. Brooke Beezer harassed from behind by Botterill in the offensive zone for Mississauga. Hosier staring at the action, which now works its way behind her net. Beezer now tied up with DeStasi. Botterill and Apps contesting. Botterill wins it to Bowman. Wrist shot through traffic, did not go through. Apps scoops up the loose disc, has Haig moving through center. Apps carries on right wing, and Haig a little bit hasty in crossing the blue line, gets called for an offside. .129 to go in the period, tied at 1 apiece. West will take the draw against Sunahara. Jenner pressing for it, but a souvenir for a lucky fan as the puck pops high out of play. Along the near side boards, as most of these near side stands at Century Garden have been filled for tonight's opener. Always good to see the kids in attendance as well, to see some of their hockey heroes on display. Off the draw, Sluicer neutral ice, trying to restore order. Nice touch pass from Dupuis, finding Sunahara. She'll put it into space on the right wing. Heffer trying to catch up against Stevenson in the corner of the Chiefs zone with 1:12 to go in the second period. Dug behind. Sunahara tussling with Stevenson. Heffert raking for it as well. Jenner comes down low to even the odds. Bowman now there for the Chiefs, who have a 3-2 player advantage, but they can't win the puck free. Good possession by the Canada Thunder here with 55 to go in the period. Dupuis near circle, matched up against Summer West. Sunahara trying to backhand one in front. Stevenson denied. They continue to wrestle for it against the back glass. The puck is definitely not stalled, so they've got to play this on. And now it's finally taken by West from behind the cage with 35 seconds to play. Dupuis reaching on the forecheck as is pushed up right wing to Perks. Perks throwing ahead, hoping for Jenner. Taken instead by Sluicer. 20 seconds to go. Brampton will attack. Over the line comes Pendleton. Pendleton centers it in front. There was a player available in Apps, but got underneath it on the redirect and couldn't tip it home. Sluicer also with a puck on edge and came up empty on her blast. It kind of fluttered high and wide. Haig crashes in on the far side against Zamora with 5 seconds to go. Zamora just content to sit on it, but the puck drifts free, taken instead by Bowman. That's going to do it for the second period of play. So a goal for each side. Chrissy Zamora backhand out of midair on the power play. Jada Hefford on a 2-on-none with Vicky Sunahara. And at the end of 2 periods of play, still nothing decided. It is Mississauga 1 and Brampton 1. And in the second intermission, we'll turn it over to former Wisconsin All-American defenseman Bobby Joe Sluicer. And then we'll be back on the other side to set the stage for period number 3. Should be a good finish coming up between these two longtime rivals. Mississauga and Brampton tied at 1 after 2. And here's Bobby Joe Sluicer to take it away for the next 12 minutes. My guest is Brampton Canada Thunder defenseman, former Wisconsin All-American Bobby Joe Sluicer, defending champion Canada Thunder, about set to open the new season against rivals Mississauga this weekend. And Bobby Joe, I know you had a couple weeks in as you get set for year 2 of the CWHL with Brampton team that has some of its holdovers like yourself and some new players as well. So tell me a little bit about how this version of last year's champions is coming together.
I think it's been really fun so far. That's kind of the word that comes to my mind at first. We've been working on a lot of things, but basically we just kind of tried to get on the same page in the last 2 weeks with the D zone, just kind of offensive zone, and just keeping things really, really simple for the first little while here. I think, our opponents this weekend are going to be very strong as usual. And, if we can just outplay them and just outthink them and be smart and just capitalize on the chances that we have, I think we're going to be okay.
Let's go back to last year for a little bit. You came in kind of mid-season, and the Thunder kind of went through some ups and downs, certainly in the back half of the season, but did emerge with the top seed. You managed to get to the finals. You managed to win it in dramatic fashion in overtime. I mean, take me back to last year. I guess it's a different kind of championship for you. You won a couple versions of championships now, but tell me a little bit about what it was like to win that first CWHL title.
Well, it was also a lot of fun. I was very fortunate to be playing on such a great team. I thought our team cohesion was awesome. And obviously the players, we have some national team players. We have some very, very experienced and talented players. And that was the most exciting part for me, is that normally, I'm playing with girls that are my age, or, in the university, that's what I did. And this was pretty exciting because a lot of these girls I looked up to, Lori Dupuy. I mean, you look at Jillian Apps, you look at some of those girls who have been on the team, Jana Hefford, and even some of the American girls like Kath Koff and some of those girls. So it was really exciting for me to just jump on a team and just look up to those players and be a part of it. And I know I mentioned some of them. Vicky Senahara has obviously led our team very well, and I think she'll be doing the same this year. And that was exciting for me, is just to play with some of those players who have been through so much and experienced so much. So it was a great time, great competition, and I'm glad we came out on top.
Tell me a little bit about your expectations going to the league. Obviously, it is an adjustment. You were used to being at Wisconsin for a number of years, and you, as I said, you had to sort of finish up your schoolwork and then join mid-season. So what were your expectations coming in versus, say, the reality that you're going through now as you get set for year 2 with regard to the CWHL?
Well, last year I didn't really have any expectations. I was told that it was definitely not as structured as I was probably used to, and that definitely was the case. I mean, being at Wisconsin and being at university, they take care of you, let's say. So when I came in last year, I just wanted to enjoy the process, and obviously I hadn't played the first half of the year, so it was an adjustment for me, just getting back into game style and just kind of getting used to being very independent within the organization of the league and whatnot. So this year I'm doing the same. It's I'm used to it now, and so I'm not too worried about it. I think I'm just gonna try to do what I can and control the things that I can, and not really worry about the organization and stuff. And hopefully things will fall into place.
Tell me a little bit about that adjustment. You mentioned the structure at Wisconsin, certainly a tremendous program, one of the best that's out there. And what did you find was the hardest part, or the hardest thing to go through when you sort of left college and then sort of started to pick up the equipment and have to go north of the border and play again? What was the hardest part about that?
I think the hardest part was just that we weren't on the ice as much. When I talk about structure, I think, when I went to Wisconsin, I was on the ice Monday to Friday. There were structured practices, there were structured workouts, and then we usually had our games on the weekend. So we're on the ice all the time. You're with each other all the time, whether it be at practice, at workout, or in class half the time. So when I came to Brampton here, I was excited because I was going to be back in Canada, and, I was kind of excited to just move on and get, done university, but just kind of play in a different league and just different structure, I guess. But I think the hardest part now is just that we only get a couple practices a week, and then we're playing on the weekends. So it's hard to, and then with working out and whatnot, you have to kind of schedule your own time. I'm lucky that, I'm involved a little bit with Hockey Canada, so they kind of do some things with us, but I think that's the biggest difference.
Looking back at sort of the Wisconsin experience, you've had a little time away from it now. It's interesting. We used to talk to you pretty much every year when you were immersed in it and going through the program and competing and winning national championships. And now you have had that little bit of separation. And if I ask you to think about Wisconsin hockey now, looking back on it, what are some of the things that really still jump out at you?
I cannot say enough about Wisconsin. I had the time of my life every single day. It was a great atmosphere, a great environment. And I just felt like I really grew as a person, as a player. I was very fortunate. We had the resources, we had the coaching staff, and we had the players to make a very successful team. Looking back, it makes me excited that I got to, have that opportunity and win some national championships. And, it doesn't sink in when you're there playing, but it definitely has a little bit. And I think as time goes on, I think it'll continue to grow on me. But I just feel very fortunate to be a part of something like that. It was definitely history, and I'm very lucky, and I had the time of my life, like I said, and what a great experience. So that's really how it is, and I know Wisconsin's going to continue to do very well. I still, some of the girls are still there that I played with, and I cheer them on, and I try to get down there when I can. But I'm definitely a supporter, and I'm an alumni now. But it's exciting. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Talking with Brampton Thunder defenseman Bobby Joe Slusser. Now, you referenced Wisconsin continuing to do well. See, this now is a question I couldn't have asked you when you were in college, which is making predictions about what Wisconsin would do. So now here's a team that I think we got used to replacing players like yourself. And yes, they did manage to get to the national finals last year, but obviously did not exactly finish the way they wanted. But they're back. I think there's some high expectations around this year. Give me your thoughts. What do you think Wisconsin Badger hockey here in 2009?
I think they're going to do a great job. When I was there, my first couple of years, you don't know what's going to happen. The start of the year to the end of the year, you just got to see improvements along the way. And, last year I can say I didn't play the first half of the year. I was there and I was watching. And, you can be a lot more critical when you're watching because you can critique everything that's going on. But, they did turn around after Christmas and things went very well. And, Mark Johnson seems to do wonders. So, I think they have a lot of great players still. I think they have a good core group players. They're younger players, but they've done very well, and I think they're going to have another successful go. I think they got it in them. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I hope that we can watch them in another national championship.
Just out of curiosity, obviously from your background, you're from Canada, but you're actually from the more the western part of Canada, Saskatchewan to be precise, and yet you stayed. Certainly last year it made sense maybe to stay in Ontario, but you wound up staying in the CWHL as opposed to maybe trying to relocate back to the Western League where you have some of your former teammates, Megan Mickelson in Edmonton, Carl McLeod still training in Calgary. Take me through that process. I mean, what was it about sort of Toronto, Ontario, the CWHL? Why the preference to sort of stay on the eastern side?
It was a very, very tough decision this year. I did look. I definitely was looking to play with the Oval Extreme, but I looked at it last year, and I was only here for half of a year, and I was given a lot of opportunities to improve and to play in situations that I might not play at the Oval, per se, just because they have, a lot of defensemen. They have Carla McLeod. They have a lot of national team defensemen, and I joke that I was definitely not scared to go into something like that because I'm competing with those girls all the time. But I think just the opportunities that I get here, I get a lot of ice time. Definitely have to earn it still, but I try to do that, and I get to play on the power play. I get to practice those things. I get to play on the penalty kill. And that's just me talking when I'm earning those spots. But I think the biggest thing was just that. I thought our team came together last year when we needed to, and, I just felt like that was something I need to do, and hopefully along the way, hopefully I will be playing in Calgary, down the road here. But right now, I'm not minding it. I like to kind of be on my own and be independent, and I kind of like not having the structure, because it's a challenge for me. So I think that was kind of the biggest thing, and I'm glad I made that decision. I think it's going to be a good year.
Let's talk a little bit about Team Canada Matters. You have been in the mix. You've been to a World Championship. You're back in the mix again this year. But obviously, as you mentioned last year, a bit of a transition year, and I'm sure a lot of folks in Canada, a lot of players in Canada saw what happened in China. Certainly the United States coming up with a couple of upset victories to win a world title, and it's certainly rare to see Canada fall short in a tournament like that. So, for you as a player, you as a competitor, a candidate for potentially an Olympic Games in 2010, what has that done maybe for your preparation, your motivation as you come back here in 2009?
I definitely think it's motivated me. I'm constantly trying to better myself, and better all my teammates around me, and I hope that they do the same. But I've tried to prepare myself as much as I can, off of the ice, and definitely working on my mental game, just, with sports psychologists, reading, doing the things that I need to do to be at my best every day. There's, been a lot of time that I've had to think, and, over the summer I've had to definitely train hard physically, but I think it really comes down to your mental game, and so that's something that I've taken, a big focus on, and I've tried to really, really think about, what's going to give me that edge. So I'm hoping to just, physically, obviously, play my best all the time and do what I can to be, in great shape and to, be the best I can be, but also just, have that mentality that, I need to be confident, I need to, go out there and I need to be my best, and I need to push people, but I also need to, know that I need to be doing really good in those situations. So that's kind of been my thing. I think, taking one step at a time, one day at a time, one game at a time, and even breaking it down to one shift at a time. That's been my big thing, and just trying not to get too frustrated because this is such a great time. This is such, I've had great opportunities, and I just kind of want to run with them right now and enjoy the process.
Let's talk a little bit about the season opener this weekend. Certainly not wasting any time, jumping right into it against the team that you ran into for the CWHL title last year, and certainly a longtime rival, whether they be called the Arrows or this time the Mississauga Chiefs. You know, tell me a little bit as an outsider. You came into this rivalry last year, sort of your impressions of it, and of course expectations, keys to getting off to a good start this Saturday.
I obviously expect the games to be very good games. You know, Mississauga, we had a lot of run-ins with them last year, and, it goes either way most of the time. So I'm expecting the same. I think the rivalry is really fun. I think it makes it exciting and very competitive, and I think our team's really up for the challenge, and obviously they're going to come out and they're going to, really take it to us. And, we just got to play our game. We got to stick to the things that we know we can do well at, and, not really worry too much about what they're doing. We just need to focus on us, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a fun game. I'm hoping that we're going to come out with a win, but I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it's going to be a fun season opener.
Thanks to Bobby Jo Slusser for her time in interviews as always. Her team, it has been a good game. Her team has clawed back on even footing after Mississauga took a lead in the second period on the power play. Tremendous goal on the power play. Very close to being put in with a high stick, but Heather Logan launching a shot from along the boards that Laura Hosier kind of fought off with her arm. And with a puck in the air, Zamora knocked it with the backhand just underneath the crossbar to give Mississauga a 1-0 lead. But then a mistake by the Chiefs on defense as Ashley Stevenson, trying to carry the puck out of her own end with no support, ran into Vicky Sunohara along the blue line, had her pocket picked, and the venerable captain for the Canada Thunder went in all along the right wing side. Heifer joined the play, made herself available. Sunohara dealt it across, and Heifer just ladled it into the back of the net to tie the game at 1 apiece. And that's where we stand at the end of 2 periods of play. Again, Hosier's been excellent. Sammy Jo Small the same. As we look for a hero here in the third period. Of course, in the CWHL, they decide every game. So the format is you play the third period. If it's still deadlocked, you play a sudden death overtime. If that doesn't do it, then you do a shootout to determine a winner in each and every contest. And we're seeing shootouts more and more. We were talking about last night with Digi Murphy, shootouts becoming a part of the WCHA and Hockey East. And the CHA in the college ranks. So, and of course, we know about its inception in the NHL a couple of years back. So, we'll see if we get there here on opening night between these two longtime rivals, as if they needed any more chances to showcase their individual wares and skills. So Brampton will go back to skating right to left in this third period. In a game which is 1-1, but has been the case in all the games we've really done in our time in the CWHL. 1-1, but very misleading. 1-1 game that, in a lot of days with normal goaltending could be 3-3, 4-4. But it is tough to score goals. I remember I was talking to a couple of the U.S. national players who had played up here and didn't really put up great numbers despite having pretty good skills. And that was the first thing they said was, the numbers, they don't tell the story. I mean, it's hard to come up here and score a lot of goals. So when you see Heffern and Botterill average, 20, 24, 25 goals a game, that is a tremendous number in a 30-game season. The CWHL is right away in the third period. The puck put out of play. Mentioned last year's scoring race. Botterill winning the overall points race, 61 points in 26 games with 24 goals, 37 helpers. Hefford winning the goal-scoring race with 26 tallies and 58 overall points, put her in the second position in her 27 games played. Allie Fox near side. Mentioned Fox, an inaugural member of the Thunder back in their NWHL days, and now here in the CWHL is a full-time attorney as well, in addition to being still a stalwart defenseman. Brampton trying to clear their zone. They'll do so. Here comes Apps down the left wing side with Haig driving the middle. Apps launches one from a bad angle that whistles through the slot and back out to center. Slusser just off the bench, deals across for Beezer. And Brooke Beezer on left wing tries to play it to the Mississauga end. Loose puck though in the neutral zone, gathered by Amber Bowman. Quick pivot on the right wing side, trying to sling it through to Jennifer Botterill. Broken up by Dupuis, settled down by Beezer. D-to-D it goes to Slusser, right back Brooke Beezer. Beezer has Dupuis ahead on left wing. Heffern and Sunohara are now on, and they hit the line onside. Centering pass, hoping for Hefford. Tipped wide. Hefford on the wraparound attempt. Looks like the net might have come off its moorings. Sammy Jo Small staring at the pegs, and the linesman will, in fact, adjust the cage to put things back together. with 18:57 to go in the third period. And the game tied at 1 apiece. Sanahara and Botterill on the draw, one back by the Chiefs. Slung around, Sanahara intercepts the clearance attempt. Bouncing puck, though, drifts to Shannon Molson. She'll sling it up right wing to Heather Logan. Logan has Zamora breaking ahead. Zamora catches up on the right wing side, trying to cut to the middle. Back checking, though, is Sanahara to take it away. And the captain out of Scarborough, Ontario, feeds Hefford out of Kingston, Ontario, who sends Dupuis on her way on right wing. Offsides, though, going to be the call here on the Canada Thunder with 1.5 minutes gone by in the third period, still tied at 1 apiece. Botterill still out there. Will take the draw against Ostrander. Those two, of course, went head-to-head many times in the Ivy League and ECAC in the late 1990s, early 21st century. Botterill graduating from Harvard in 2003. Ostrander leaving Brown in 2002. Ostrander carrying forward. Long-distance shot in on Sammy Jo Small. Paddles it aside for Ashley Stevenson. Stevenson winding it around near side, not able to clear. Players from both sides contesting for it along the half wall. Finally dug free. Ruda couldn't hold the line. She'll have to retreat to the neutral zone. Brampton trying to tag up for the dump in, and they're successful in doing so as they try to execute a change on the fly. Bowman takes over for the Chiefs unmolested in the far corner. Head manning pass for Angela DeStacy. Had Summer West with her. DeStacy couldn't get the pass across, then gets wrestled hard into the glass by Demare. App swings it around for Beezer. Beezer out to center and down. This could be an icing call, and there's the whistle against the Canada Thunder. 2.5 gone by in the third period, still tied at 1. CWHL opener, USCHO game of the week. And a reminder, former Dartmouth captain and Kim McCullough has opened up Total Female Hockey, devoted to girls hockey players of all ages and development. McCullough focusing on sort of training tips for players at all levels, and if you want to learn more about that and her endeavor, definitely head over to www.totalfemalehockeyclub.com. www.totalfemalehockeyclub.com. Still knotted at 1 here in the third period. CWHL, of course, brought to you by Scotiabank. Chiefs with the clear. Not sure West is going to be able to catch up, but a good break. It rolls in on Hosier. Now she's going to cover as West was close enough to be a potential threat. So a draw coming in the defensive zone for the home team. Still tied at 1 apiece here in the early stages of the third period. Draw 1 to Sanahara. Sanahara scoops it on the backhand up the boards. Sandwiched down to Zamora, though. Zamora for the Chiefs, the lone goal scorer. Trying to feed Botterill in the circle. Ladles it back out. Bowman for a wrist shot, deflected wide of the mark. Zamora picks up the carom in the far circle. Botterill rotates to the front. Now picks up and works her way out of traffic to the sideboards. Zamora now behind, matched up with Sanahara. Botterill lurking as an outlet. Lets it go through her stick. Bowman puts a charge into one. That was played with a high stick by Logan between the circles. Canceled by Hefford. She puts a nice touch pass to Dupuis, who in turn is knocked off the play by Stevenson at center. Both clubs anxious not to surrender a mistake here with 16 to go in the third period. As Stevenson rotates it around near side in her defensive zone. The lead pass is for Summer West just off the bench, touching it through space to Logan. Right back West on left wing as she hits the line. West with some moves in between a couple of defenders. West with a backhand and a stick save by Hosier. Summer West taking matters into her own hands there to create a good scoring opportunity. Fox wrestles an attacker into the corner boards. Here's West now throwing it through the slot. Nobody home for either team. Taken away by Hefford as she accelerates, motoring through center. Hefford over the line. Looks like now she'll defer for a line change as she dumps it in deep. Kicked out along the wall, and Davies will chip it to the red line as Ruda comes off the bench. She's crunched along the blue stripe by Summer West, and only going to be an offsides call. I think Brampton might have been hoping for a little more than that. We'll have the draw back in the neutral zone with 4.5 gone by in the third period, tied at 1 apiece. Off the draw, Mississauga controls. Shannon Molson going D to D to Cheryl Pounder. One up on 5 gone by in the third period. Turnover just outside the blue line. Here comes Dowd all over the line. Nice dangle move to free herself to the corner. Has an outlet in Ruda along the half wall. Ruda peruses down low against a pair of Chief defenders. Rubbed out along the back glass by Cheryl Pounder. Clearance foiled far side by Ashley Pendleton, who comes pinching down. Pendleton trying to take a return pass in front, and his offensive sledding has become much more difficult here as we reach crunch time in the third period of this 1-1 game. And now we have a puck stalled along the far side just outside the Chief bench. So we get another stoppage and whistle. Off the draw win by Botterill. It is Stevenson down low, menaced by Haig on the forecheck. But cleanly away goes Botterill to center. The feed through center to Lara Perks. Perks inside out. Drop pass. Bowman with a shot. And Hosier, the glove save. She holds on with a couple of Chief forwards bearing down on her. And she'll stare at the draw to her left as Botterill stays on to take it. In between now Perks and Jenner for this shift. Bowman out there with Stevenson on the point. Haig, Apps, Demir, Beezer, and Slusser countering for the Canada Thunder. Demir, rink-wide pass. Here's Haig on right wing with speed. Apps in the middle. Haig trying to center. Pass was denied. Apps with her back to the play by the side of the net, trying to force it in front. Haig from a bad angle. Small is kind of off her mark, but was able to put the left leg against the near post and keep it sealed long enough for the whistle. As a combination of Haig and Apps generating a couple of opportunities there for the Canada Thunder, but to no avail as we stay tied at 1 with 6 minutes gone in the third period. Slusser, drive, pad saved by Small, clear line of sight, lively ricochet. Now Beezer with a slap shot, save is made, rebound by the side of the net. Hefford menacing as she curls behind, turning for a bad angle offering, patted away by Sammy Jo Small again. Bouncing puck back the other way, but there's going to be a call for the puck play with a high stick, I believe, by the Chiefs. So bring the draw right back down in the end of Sammy Jo Small, who was seeing some regular action in the recent moments. Off the draw, bodies go down in the circle. Who has the puck? It's finally goosed free to Lori Dupuis, who's promptly crunched to the boards by Pounder. Here's Sunahara, angled shot, pad saved by Small. She covers up one more time as Brampton's 5-on-5 offense starting to get into a little bit better gear here. Far side, Sunahara plays it down low for Dupuis. Turning for it, and a centering pass is knocked away out of the zone. Zamora barreling after, trying to create a counterattack. She has help. Here's Logan over the line. The drop pass, Molson. Her shot is deflected wide by Christy Alcorn. Logan trying to center. Zamora redirects it in on Hosier. It's loose by the side of the net. Hosier covers up and then is sandwiched under a couple of bodies as Zamora kind of tries to lift her arms up in innocence after that whistle. We get a fresh set of legs for both sides as Hosier puts her equipment back together and have a draw to her right with 13 minutes to go in the third period, still tied at 1 apiece. Off the draw, wide around out to center. Ostrander charging after it, gains the line, angles wide, blocker down by Small. Stevenson slams on the brakes, turns it over to Ruder. Nice pass in front, down. Oh, wrist shot. Kicked out by Sammy Jo Small again. Here's Botterill the other way. Saucer pass on ahead for Davies on right wing. They go wide. Davies trying to turn the corner, gains an angle. Davies on the backhand trying to return it to Botterill in front. That was knocked away by a back-checking Ashley Pendleton. Pendleton and Botterill stand each other up in the corner, centering pass to Stacey, a bit late getting there, and Brampton will look to set sail with Dowdall putting it to space. Over the wall comes Haig. Haig gets her shoulders and elbows up high on DeStacey, headed off. Very fortunate not to pick up a minor penalty there. 12:19 to go in the third period. The puck sent all the way down. Haig trying to center, caught the side of the net. Puck loose in the low slot, gathered and cleared up the right wing side. Jenner has Pounder with her. Pounder with a wrist shot through traffic, patted away by Hosier. Haig scampering after the loose disc among three shirts along the blue line. And has help from Apps now as they try to reset from their own end. Back behind, under duress, is Christy Alcorn, feeding Haig, half wall. Haig met by Stevenson as she chopped it into neutral ice on the far side, and they'll go for changes. As back to get it is Bowman, 11.5 to go in the third. Hefford back to the attack, trying to turn the corner. Hefford walks around, wrist shot, she scores! Oh, what a move by Jada Hefford, skating around a defender, popping one top shelf, and her second goal tonight gives Brampton its first lead at 2-1. That's pretty much Jada Hefford in a nutshell. Instant offense every time she has the puck. You hold your breath and await to see what magic she can create. In that time, a beautiful, deep, dangling past the defender and then ripping one up over the shoulder of Sammy Jo Small to give Brampton its first lead of the night, 2-1, with 11:26 to play in the third period. So Hefford with a pair, answering Zamora's initial tally, and Brampton a 2-1 lead. Going to be a penalty here. And a call for tripping will bring out the whistle with 11:09 to go in the third period. Power play, 1:38 left as Hosier will play it aside. Botterill menacing here in the offensive zone, just trying to kill off some time where their team's shorthanded. Hefford, though, to the attack on the left wing side, fresh off her second goal, sails it wide as it's punched down by Sammy Jo Small. Offensive zone play here for the Canada Thunder, coming up in the midway point of the third period. Still Brampton 2, Mississauga 1. Chiefs trying to escape. And they are able to get the clearance with 1:04 to go on this Canada Thunder power play. Slusser back to get it behind her own net. Slings it left wing side to Pendleton. Pendleton across now for Slusser. Slusser down on the wall hoping for Ruda. Ruda tangled up in the corner boards against Molson. Slow developing power play here. Back behind now. Dupuis kicks it out high. Apps big windup. Let's fly. Kick save is made. And no goal. Brampton celebrated, but the whistle came out. And Brampton protests, but to no avail. And so we'll have a draw back in the neutral zone with still 24 seconds of power play time remaining. So Brampton nearly with a third goal there, but that one waved off by the official and will bring the draw outside the zone. And it's taken now by Haig. Final 14 of the power play. They're trying to stay on side. Nice job of doing that. Pendleton throws it across. Good feed. Apps trying to go backdoor. Haig caught the heel of her stick on a one-time attempt. Haig now squirts behind on the backhand. Snakes one in front. Followed by Pendleton. Full charge. And Small awkwardly takes it in the shoulder as Pendleton let loose with a cannon from about 6 feet. So Brampton looking for a potential knockout punch here with 9:09 to go in the third period, but not able to solve Small and company that time. As Haig was able to center, and Pendleton coming down from the point blasted one right into the chest protector of Small, and we're just about back to 5-a-side with 9 minutes to go in the third period. Small with another save with the pad. She'll hold on for another draw. So after we saw Mississauga really kind of have the run of play 5-on-5 through those first 2 periods, Brampton has come out and asserted its will more so in the third, and Hefford's second off a beautiful individual creation is the difference right now, and she's handling off the offensive zone draw win by Vicky Sanahara. Hefford turns it back behind for her captain. Dupuis goes after it in the far corner, kicking it out now for Sluicer. Sluicer high off the glass, trying to get it back to Dupuis. Bouncing puck in the high slot. Hefford couldn't save it along the line. Have to come back to center to regroup. Rink wide pass. Great steal by Zamora, but going to be whistled for a late offside to Zamora, showing the excellent hand-eye. I mentioned she scored that goal with a backhand out of midair, and right there, knocking one down on a cross-ice pass, and nearly was in all alone, but was ruled to have been offside. So we'll just bring the draw back to center ice with 8.5 to go in the third period, and Brampton leading by a count of 2-1. Off the draw. Steal by DeStacey, matched up with Beezer. DeStacey trying to power over the line, stalled, supported at center by West. West diagonals it back in, but right off the legs of Sluicer, and looks like we might have another offsides call here as things get a little bit discombobulated. Mississauga, figure you'll see them take a few more chances offensively. Hosier will have the draw to her right. Sluicer picks up, scales it off the glass to Ruda. Ruda dipping it to center. Neither team with the edge right now. Puck kind of just pinballing in the air. Finally settles down for Ruda along the blue stripe. Deals it back to Sluicer to create some space. And Bobby Joe will sling it up the left wing side. Intended for Beezer. Deflection. Steal. Here's Davies inside. Maybe with a chance. Trying to drag past. There'll be a penalty to the Canada Thunder, maybe for a slash from behind on Rebecca Davies. And as Dowdall touches up, there is the whistle. So Mississauga, this will be their opportunity. Down 2-1 with under 8 to play in the third period, but now handed a man advantage as Rebecca Davies able to capitalize on a bouncing puck along the blue line and kind of got inside position against Bobby Joe Sluicer. And the Canada Thunder defenseman forced to take a penalty. We'll see a draw. Inside the blue line here. Now they're actually going to move it into the face-off dot. So Apps will take it opposite Botterill. Botterill wins it cleanly to Heather Logan. Pressure applied by the long reach of Apps. Good aggressive play as Pendleton steals it. She's got Haig leaking ahead short-handed. Pendleton just lays it up the ice. Haig now giving chase. Boarded up by Bowman. Taken back by Cheryl Pounder. Pounder misses Botterill on the headman. Botterill frustrated with herself there. And as it goes all the way down, it's going to be an icing call on the Chiefs to bring it all the way back by Sammy Jo Small with 1:39 of power play time remaining for Mississauga. So Botterill, Zamora, and Logan with Pounder and Bowman manning the points. Change of lines here coming for both teams, however. As now West, Stevenson, and Perks have joined the festivities. Botterill will stay out there along with Pounder. So this looks like the full-fledged first unit. And as Botterill and Sanahara will match up in the circle, one back by the Chiefs center. And now Pounder below the end line, monitored by Sunahara, token forecheck. Errant headman pass again by the Chiefs, having some trouble gaining the zone cleanly. And Stevenson will have to retreat behind her own net as Sunahara comes into pressure. Cautiously forward, lead pass to Botterill, hands off to Perks on right wing. Perks looking at her options, going back in front, slung through the goal mouth by Summer West, but nobody home for her as Botterill had already gone by. West now backhands it across, Botterill near side, kicked up but off the skates of Perks back to the neutral zone. So the midway point of the power play, the Chiefs sputtering thus far, down 2-1 in this one. Under 7 to go in the third period. Brian Schultz at Century Gardens in Brampton, Ontario. Brampton 2, Mississauga 1. Jana Hefford, 2 goals, including the tiebreaker. Beautiful individual effort here in the third period. Mississauga trying to answer with a man advantage. Botterill skipping the pass far side. Stevenson winds, fires, but Hosier saw it all the way, catches and holds on for the draw. Apps will take the draw against Brianne Jenner now. Clearance foiled along the blue line by Summer West. Half a minute to go on the power play. Here's Zamora curling off the wall, trying to go backdoor, deflected away by Pendleton. Jenner retrieves in the corner, pulls it out to the perimeter and resets, dealing it down low to Heather Logan. Logan back now for Jenner. Jenner in the circle, across now for West on the touch pass. Diving across his absence, rolling in the slot area. Bowman holds the line. Tucks it across near side to Zamora. 4 seconds to go on the power play. West back now for Zamora. Zamora lets it go on through, and the penalty just about over. With 5:45 to go in the third, Brampton has preserved its 2-1 lead, but not out of harm's way just yet, as Sluicer's out of the box into the play. Mississauga still with attack zone time as Logan. Another draw down in the Mississauga zone, as Brampton has certainly had the run of play here in period number 3. And have taken a 2-1 lead. Dana Heffer with both goals for Brampton. Christy Zamora, a power play tally for Mississauga, and the clock now the Chiefs' enemy. Down 2-1 here late in the third. Tiffany Haig scrapping with Shannon Molson in the near side corner of the offensive zone. Bad angle shot by Haig and caught and held by Sammy Jo Small. Tiffany Haig a year ago, 12 goals, 27 points, playing at all 30 games for the Canada Thunder. Mentioned a class of 2006 at Dartmouth, was their captain in that season, finishing with 133 career points in 115 games. Member of Team USA at the 2007 World Championships. Also had played in 2 Four Nations Cups and 3 Frozen Fours besides. Lead pass to center for the Chiefs. Here's Lara Perks putting it over the line, but right to the stick of Ashley Pendleton for the quick turnabout, and away goes the former Mercyhurst star with support from Demire. Lobs it all the way down behind the net of Small, who turns it aside now for Amber Bowman. Bowman feeding Botterill, eludes one check through center, right wing side, nice service to Perks. Perks trying to go back in front, tipped down by Botterill, fought off by Hosier. Good transition rush there, 2-man game between Botterill and Perks. Taken away now as Hefford sends Dupuis up the right wing side. Sluicer joining the rush from her blue line position. Mentioned great offensive instincts for the 2-time All-American. 40 points as a junior, 33 more as a senior at Wisconsin. Great skater, huge shot. And not the biggest player, but a player who you would certainly think could be in the mix for Team Canada and will be part of their Four Nations roster in Lake Placid next month. 3 to go in the third period, still 2-1 Brampton. Dupuis and Jenner locked up in a good one-on-one against the back class down in the Mississauga zone. Huck worked back to center. Sluicer on the rotation. D to Beezer. Right back, Bobby Joe Sluicer. Sluicer takes off on the left wing side with a drive. Trying to go low to the far post, and Sammy Jo Small smothered it with the pad. Off the draw, Jenner able to control. And Canada's under-18 captain. On a spring Logan at center. Sluicer gaps up, takes it away. Deals it to Apps on left wing, who deposits it deep. Haig goes in on the forecheck along with her former Dartmouth teammate. But Mississauga gets the clearance to center as Sluicer rotates back to Collette. Now Pounder at the Mississauga blue line. Puck bouncing on the ice. Caught a funny hop. It went over Shannon Molson's stick. She's got to regain control down in her own end. And here's back for Pounder. Pounder laying it now for Molson. Molson playing it away from Hagen. Space up right wing. Mississauga getting it into the offensive zone, but not with possession as Ostrander takes back for the Canada Thunder. Coming up on 2 to go. When will Mississauga look to get Sammy Jo Small off for the extra skater? As Demir plays it to center, and Jenner pulls it away from traffic to try to find an outlet for a headman pass. Up the right wing side it goes, but too far for Pounder, who had pinched forward momentarily. Now look to get off on a change. Center ice, it's scooped up. As over the boards comes Dowdall. Neutral zone play continuing with 1:45 to go in the third. Perks now chipping over the line on right wing. Has Botterill in the corner, trying to tip it back for Perks. Broken up. And they'll scrap along the near side wall as Bowman with a rocket from long range sails it wide of the far post, and the force of the shot takes it all the way back down to the Mississauga end, where Stevenson will have to retrieve for the Chiefs. 1:27 to go in the third. Smalls at the edge of the crease with one look toward the bench as the neutral zone play continues. She's not going to be able to get off just yet as Summer West comes back to pick up with 1:15 left in the third. Line around far side of Stevenson. Brampton trying to make Jana Hefford's brilliant second goal stand up as the difference in this one. Sunahara doing a nice job on the forecheck. Has Dupuis available but couldn't get the pass to her. Puck rolls back to center ice for a collision along the blue line. 1 minute to go in the third period, so the last charge of the Chiefs coming up here. As from behind her own net, it's Bowman on the headman pass. Here comes Jenner with speed and help. Jenner with Logan behind. Logan back for Jenner. Angled shot kicked out by Hosier. There'll be a penalty here. Jenner scoots it free for a drive that pinballs off Allie Fox's skate. And as Dupuis touches up, we will have a call for checking, and that will allow Mississauga to burn a timeout, get Sammy Jo Small off for an extra skater, and have a 2-man advantage to boot because of the penalty. Interesting, Mississauga not going with the timeout. Oh, now they are. They were waiting. Summer West finally made the signal. They were about set to drop the puck. Finally, West went over to the official, and now the teams will congregate and discuss high drama in this one. So we got a 2-1 nail-biter last night down in Providence to open our college season. We got a 2-1 nail-biter here north of the border as Brampton tries to hang on against Mississauga. This is a somewhat similar finish, but in reverse fashion to a game we did between these two teams last year. If you remember, Mississauga shutting out Brampton 2-0 in a game where Brampton finished the game with a series of 2-man advantages and was not able to solve Sarah Love on that day. And tonight, Jana Hefford has solved Sammy Jo Small twice, and right now that would stand to be the winner in this one. Well, Mississauga with an offensive zone draw. They are set up with a 6-on-4 skater advantage here. So Laura Hosier, who's been brilliant in her CWHL debut, will figure to see a couple more good chances if she's going to come away with 2 points for her team. Alcorn was the guilty party, so she'll sit for 2. Sunahara and Botterill. And Botterill wins it cleanly back to Amber Bowman. The swing getting under it was Pounder, putting it high off the glass. Flusser plays it around. Sunahara and West trying to fight each other along the line. Mississauga has the numbers, obviously, with 27 seconds to go, but time is a-wasting. They're finally able to maintain possession. Rolling puck, though, is gathered by Slusser. An alert play by Bobby Joe to clear it out of the zone. Only 15 seconds remaining, and that puck was played with a high stick by Summer West. So that's going to bring the draw back in the Mississauga end. Only 15 seconds to work with, and Sammy Jo Small's probably going to have to come back out for this draw. So a tall order for the Chiefs to get all the way down the ice and get another good scoring opportunity. And now Small will rejoin the proceedings with the draw coming up to her right. So Brampton 2 and Mississauga 1. Jana Hefford with both goals for the Canada Thunder. Zamora for the Chiefs in 15 seconds. All that remains in this one. Botterill does win the draw back to Pounder. With only 10 seconds to go on this power play and this hockey game. Long distance offering sailed wide. 4 seconds as it drifts to the corner. Not going to be enough time for the Chiefs, the defending champs, just as they were back in March. 1 goal better then their arch rivals to open Season 2 in the CWHL. Your final score, the Brampton Canadet Thunder 2 and the Mississauga Chiefs 1. So Jana Heffer does it again, scoring off a 2-on-none in the second period to equalize, and then turning in a show-stopping individual goal in the third to give her team a hard-fought 2-1 victory, and very impressive. It's October 4th. These teams playing the first of 30 games they'll play this season, and yet a lot of these players look like they were ready to go pretty close to mid-season form throughout this one. Great saves, great plays all around. You definitely go back and check out the video archive after the game is over. And so the CWHL season gets underway here at Century Gardens with another fine showing from these two long-time rivals. People we have to thank: Owen Boyle back in the All-In Broadcasting studio. Great job production start to finish. Also want to thank Sammy Joe Small and Bobby Joe Slusser for their time in interviews this week. As our next CWHL broadcast will be Saturday, December 13th, as this same Brampton club takes on the Vaughan Flames over at the Vaughan Sports Village. That'll be Saturday, December 13th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to just about do it for us here on the USCHO Game of the Week. This is Brian Schultz signing off. We'll see you in a couple weeks, Saturday, October 25th, BC Providence, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, USCHO.com. Have a great weekend.